Good evening and welcome, one and all, to the 1 year anniversary of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. As always, I'm your host, Mike. Tonight, I am currently joined by Baron Ormontag and Mr. Chaos himself, the Digital Department of Defense himself. You can call him Pit Viper, you can call him Chaos WOTN, whatever name you want to give him. Just make sure it has something to do with chaos.
General Chaos will suffice.
Yes. So it's been a year since Pop Talk began, and it was Chaos and I who first attempted it on Monday, August 1st of last year. We attempted it, and due to internet issues, it failed.
Yeah. Oof.
We all said you weren't going to last a year. This is amazing.
Y'all don't know him. Y'all don't know. You don't know Pacific. You don't tell Pacific what he can't do. No one tells Pacific what he can't do.
So tried it again. It failed again. And I'm like, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. I'm not going to let this fail. So I said, that's it. 3 strikes, I'm out. Trying it a third time. So the first official episode began on August 3rd. And I said, here we go. So the topics of that episode were the Orville and, of course, Kurtzman's Star Trek. And I played a few trailers. I believe one of them was for Ghostbusters. And one of my first guests that night was the Nerdporeal Lifeform, who has been a great big supporter of the channel and the content that is on the channel. And I really appreciate that from Brian. So, yeah. Yeah, so some might say he's okay. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. So why did I come up with Pop Talk? Well, everyone else talks about pop culture, and we all can write our responses in the chat to different videos discussing certain topics. But I also had my own points of view, because after all, I'm not just a baseball guy. I'm an all-around guy. I know most of you might think, Mike, you talk about the Cubs, you talk about baseball. Yes, during the box score, I talk about the Cubs and what they did or didn't do during the day's game when I'm able to watch it. During the box score mound visit, I talk about everything going on in Major League Baseball in the offseason, with yesterday's broadcast being the exception, with it being the Major League Baseball trade deadline. And a lot of things went down during the trade deadline. Then the other thing I like to do on this channel is talk about, different TV shows I like to watch, like currently the Orville. Tonight's the season finale of the Orville, or is it the series finale of the Orville? We don't know yet. All we know is that it's a finale tonight. But I will be giving my live reaction to tonight's episode of the Orville, and also joining the Nerdporeal Lifeform after I've given the review portion. And, of course, you've seen that I do random live streams at times and game streams. But for Pop Talk, it began with talking about pop culture. It is expanded to a Sunday morning show. It's also expanded to doing one particular topic for each month, which that began in March. And this month's topic will be anime, and that will be Saturday, August 20th at 8 p.m. So before I begin with the first article, please welcome a good friend, Jet Sparks. Welcome, Jet Sparks. How you doing, brother?
How are you, Pacific? Congrats on 1 year on the air on YouTube with Pop Talk.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
What up, Jet? Another one of my peoples. Welcome.
Hello.
I'm meeting new people all around here.
Well,
is that dog butt? What up, dog butt?
That's a cat butt.
It's a cat.
Okay. Hello, Fluffy McFluffington II.
Actually, it's
oh boy.
It is the cat's name is Mouse. Believe it or not.
Huh?
Why are you? So wait, that's like naming a person. Don't name a pet after what he eats. Okay, my name is Cheeseburger. There we go. I'm double quarter pounder.
Okay.
That's my new name. I'm no longer TKO the Chaotic One, General Chaos up on this biatch. I am double quarter pounder with cheese, mayo, and onions only. Okay, I'm done.
Chaos Burger.
Yeah. The Chaos Burger. It comes at you, and it's not fully together by the time it gets to you.
Nah.
And it may or may not detonate.
See, in my defense, my daughter named him. So,
How old was she at the time?
probably about 12.
Judges? Okay, they'll allow it.
Yeah, and she's blonde. And I demanded if he's going to be named Mouse, he has a German name. So it's Maus. So it's actually Mouse. But
You named your cat after a 100-ton World War II German tank. Nice.
yes.
Nice. I'm General Chaos, and I approve this message.
And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome another good friend of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk, Anonymous. Mr. Anonymous.
I'm sorry. I forgot to mute the other stream. Hey guys, how's it going?
What up, Banana Mouse?
Hey, Dodd, D-Dodd.
Yes, the Digital Department of Defense is here to maintain the security of this stream. If any trolls try to attack, we will be here to defend our brain from mind cancer.
Don't worry. If any trolls decide to attack, any bots decide to attack, I will give the order, and this will be the order.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
Oh no!
I don't fear death. I welcome it.
Excellent. The Emperor will be pleased with your progress.
All right.
That's actually Bane.
Hello there.
So
I am Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jedi Knight. I will show you the ways of the Force.
So, gentlemen, you know your assignment for tonight. At least I hope you do. Jet Sparks, Anonymous.
Oh man, there's homework? No.
Wait, what?
Yes, your assignment for tonight was to find an article of pop culture that you want to discuss. Post it in the private chat, and I'll add it to the list.
There's strings attached to this stream, boys and girls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had to pay. Did anybody else have to pay to get on tonight? I had to pay them.
No, just you.
Just you and Phil McCracken, if Phil McCracken's able to show up.
He's too cheap.
Please check the private chat and tell me whether or not that you are going to cover this one tonight.
Oh, I gotta say hi to Courtney. Hi, Courtney. How you doing, sweetheart?
Yeah. I've already got that lined up. Lined up.
Okay.
I saw her. I just had to say
Okay. I was like, oh.
Yes, I already have Nichelle Nichols ready to go. We're going to talk about her, and we're also going to talk about Batgirl being canceled. Baron selected the new Max Headroom reboot that's going to happen. And then you sent me the article retaining to Grand Theft Auto 6.
Okay. Let's do this.
Of course. Of course, we're going to do this. But first, I need to say hello to the chat. I need to say hello to Alan Copeland, who says, congrats on 1 year of Pop Talk PACIFIC414. Thank you, Alan. He's a great supporter of the channel, and he loves to hear my updates on the Cubs and what I think about the Cubs season and the prospects of certain Cubs coming back. But we're not talking about that tonight.
Oh, yeah. And welcome.
And we also had, it's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs, or as a lot of us just say, Courtney. We shorten it up. But she says congrats. Thank you, Courtney. Really appreciate it. And then we have Keely Chow, Road Tide, Keely Chow. Thank you, brother. He says, hey, everybody.
I don't have those chats in my chat. I got Keely.
Switch over from private to comments.
No, I got the stream up on another browser, and they're not in there.
Oh, well, I see. Yeah.
The only one showing is Keely Chow.
Oh snap! You're right. I'm gonna switch over. Oh,
see. Here's what it does. Depending on when the person posts the chat, it'll only hold it there for a few minutes. Since I signed into this pretty early, it's still there.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
And Keely Chow says, what's going on? And he says, happy anniversary. Thank you, Keely Chow.
Oh, snap. Pacific, can you do me a favor and send me the link to the channel on Facebook so I can send that out to some people I want to come check you out?
Well, if you want me to do that, here, I'm going to do it the easy way. And I'm just going to copy the link and I'll put it in the private chat. So cancel that real quick. And you should be seeing it in the private chat right about now.
Okay. Roger.
All right. So while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start with our first article. And as we learned Sunday, Nichelle Nichols, Lieutenant Uhura on the original series, passed away on Saturday at the age of 89.
Oof. She will be missed.
Yes, she will. This article comes from NPR, and I'll go ahead and post a link to the article in the chat for anybody who wishes to read it. There you all are. And it says, actress and singer Nichelle Nichols, best known as Star Trek's communications officer, Lieutenant Uhura, died Saturday night in Silver City, New Mexico. She was 89 years old. And here's a quote from her son who says, I regret to inform you that a great light in the firmament is no longer shines for us as it has for so many years. Her son Kyle Johnson wrote on the website uhura.com. Her light, however, like the ancient galaxies now being seen for the first time, will remain for us and the future generations to enjoy, learn from, and draw inspiration. Nichols was one of the first black women featured in a major television series, and her role as Lieutenant Nyota Uhura on the original TV series was groundbreaking. An African-American woman whose name came from Uhuru, the Swahili word for freedom. Here I was projecting in the 23rd century, what should have been quite simple, Nichols told NPR in 2011. We are on a starship. I was head of communications officer, fourth in command on a starship. They didn't see this as being, it doesn't happen until the 23rd century. Young people and adults saw it as now. In 1968, Nichols made headlines when Uhura shared an intimate kiss with Captain James T. Kirk, played by William Shatner, in an episode called Plato's Stepchildren. Their interracial kiss on the lips was revolutionary, one of the first such moments on TV. Nichols was born Grace-Dale Nichols in a Chicago suburb where her father was the mayor. She grew up singing and dancing, aspiring to star in musical theater. She got her first break in the 1961 musical Kicks & Co., a thinly veiled satire of Playboy magazine. She was the star of the Chicago Stock Company production of Carmen Jones, and in New York performed in Porgy and Bess. To me, the highlight and the epitome of my life as a singer and an actor and a dancer choreographer was to star on Broadway, she told NPR in 2011, adding that as her popularity on Star Trek grew, she was beginning to get other offers. I decided I was going to leave, go to New York, and make my way on the Broadway stage. Nichols said she went to Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, and announced she was quitting. He was very upset about it and said, take the weekend and think about it, what I'm trying to achieve here in this show. You're an integral part and very important to it. And this was just after the original series' first season when this occurred. So that weekend, she went to an NAACP fundraiser in Beverly Hills and was asked to meet a man who said he was her number one fan, Martin Luther King Jr.
Damn.
He complimented me on the manner in which I'd created the character. I thanked him and I think I said something like, Dr. King, I wish I could be out there marching with you. He said, no, no, no. No, you don't. Understand. We don't need you to march. You are marching. You are reflecting what we are fighting for. So I said to him, thank you so much. And I'm going to miss my co stars. His face got very, very serious, she recalled. And he said, what are you talking about? And I said, well, I told Gene yesterday that I'm going to leave the show after the first year because I've been offered. And he stopped me and said, you cannot do that. I was stunned. He said, don't you understand what this man has achieved? For the first time, we are being seen the world over as we should be seen. He says, do you understand that this is the only show that my wife, Coretta, and I will allow our little children to stay up and watch? I was speechless. Nichols returned to the series, which lasted until 1969. She also reprised her famous role in 6 subsequent feature films, including Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, where Uhura was promoted to commander. For years, Nichols also helped diversify the real-life space program, helping to recruit astronauts Sally Ride, Drew the Resnick, Gian Bluefold, I might be mispronouncing it, and I do apologize, and others. She had her own science foundation, Women in Motion. Many actors became stars, but few stars can move a nation, tweeted actress Linda Carter, who played Wonder Woman on TV in the 1970s. Nichelle Nichols showed us the extraordinary power of Black women and paved the way for a better future for all women in media. Thank you, Nichelle. We will miss you. George Takei, who co-starred on Star Trek as helmsman Hikaru Suru, tweeted, I shall have more to say about the trailblazing, incomparable Nichelle Nichols, who shared the bridge with us as Lieutenant Uhura on the USS Enterprise, he wrote. For today, my heart is heavy. My eyes shining like the stars you now rest among. My dearest friend. He also posted a photo of his longtime friend, both of them flashing the Vulcan greeting and these words, we live long and prosper together. So, guys, what would you like to say about Nichelle Nichols?
Well, for me personally, this is something that I know, but my dad can also probably vouch for this. But my dad loved the original Star Trek so much that he even named my older sister after the actress, Nichelle Nichols. My sister's name is Nichelle. And again, when I first heard the news, she was the first person I texted this to. And I told her, yeah, she passed away. And again, it's because, dad loved it so much. He named you after her. And she told me she was so proud of having that name. Because she's associated with a woman who became a trailblazer in science fiction and media in general. Just, it was great. And that's the greatest thing that I can really say, because my dad is, I know he loves all the other Star Trek series. Like I think one of his favorites, other than the original show, is Deep Space Nine. But
yeah.
and that's about it. He just is a massive lover of the show, and he just named my oldest sister. And I have 2 older sisters. The one who I mentioned is only older than me by a factor of 2 years. The other one's older by 4. So that's about it. So yeah, she was really just something. And again, she inspired my own dad at naming one of his children.
Such a reality shock to me when something like this happens. Like Richard, when Leonard Nimoy died, it's like, to me, the original cast, like immortal. For some odd reason in my head, so like if one of them, falls in battle, it just shocks me. I'm like what? I don't know. They're just that iconic to me.
Well, without them, we wouldn't have Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, or Enterprise. or any of the movies.
Yeah.
I love when you stop that list. I love it.
Except for the Calvin movies, those movies do not exist.
Pacific stopped the list for a reason.
Oh, sorry.
Notice where he stopped.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. No. I was thinking there are some people who like the newer Star Trek.
No,
like the newer
those
Star
aren't
Trek
people.
movies. Huh?
Those aren't people. Those are replicants.
Now we're getting into Blade. Blade Runner.
Like, are you kidding me? Pod people. And I agree with your pops.
Don't you mean the Borg?
Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek. And it's not because the captain was black. It's because the character development of that series is the only Star Trek series where the character development absolutely just defied my expectations in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. But nowadays we have people who just want to say, "Oh, what the color of your skin and who you sleep with. That's the only thing that matters."
Because yeah, right. It was just like the greatest. Okay, personally, like I said, I've said this before on past podcasts, and we bring up Trek. But to me, the single best character development in all of Star Trek dumb is Nog. Okay, the freaking best. Like, I never in a million years, when I first started watching Deep Space Nine, that Nog would be a character that I would ride for. You know what I'm saying? I saw him as just some little punk kid, annoying little Ferengi guy. I'm not gonna lie, I was specious, whatever, towards Ferengi. I'm like, oh god, they're annoying. Their ear. And then Nog was like, I'm sorry, Ferengi. I'm sorry, because he came hard. He had his little moment when he went through his trauma, but he came back stronger than ever. And I was like, I was truly, whatever writer was in command of his character arc. And also too, second is the interactions between Kira and Cisco. At the beginning, she freaking couldn't stand him. She was just bitchy. I couldn't stand her. And then by like season 2 or 3, I'm like, Kira, I'd ride it down for Kira, and she ride it down for Cisco. I love the character development, the twists and turns, the conflicts and the conflict resolutions of DS9 is just beautiful. Voyager tried. They almost got there with the whole dynamic between the Maquis and Starfleet, but did not hit quite as well as the dynamics between the Bajoran freedom fighters and then what they believe to be their new occupiers, which then turned out to be their new freaking like ride or die homies. I love that. That writing was well,
also, you and I have talked about the character development of Dax. You know, Worf had better character development on Deep Space Nine than he ever did on Next Generation.
Well, yeah, because they literally brought his species into a war. He had to go, nah, I can't back you on this one. Like, I mean, just Deep Space Nine literally just brought out the best and in some cases the worst in the characters, and just there hasn't been any Trek since that.
And like Nog wasn't the only Ferengi that the series was able to make us like. Don't forget Quark and Rom.
Okay, Rom, I'll give you that. I thought he was an idiot. I mean, I still think he's an idiot, but I mean, come on. But Quark, I mean, I'll just say me and Quark we'd be frenemies.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Quark and Odo. Quark and Odo's relationship, how it developed over there. That was some fantastic writing right there.
Yeah, that was highly entertaining. Yes, yeah, highly entertaining. That was. Like, that's the best Trek. I mean, Next Generation is like my issue with Next Generation. I did enjoy their individual storytelling, but like you could just be watching Next Generation. You know, one of your friends could just walk in, sit on the couch next to you, and it's like, oh, what's going on? And you, this, and how do I word this correctly? There's no like real consequences between episodes. Each episode was mostly standalone, except for the few great story arcs, like the Borg and the Arbiter of Succession. You know, those guys. But everything else between those points you could not see it and doesn't really affect the series as a whole.
Yeah, I think Next Generation it had its moments with character development, but it wasn't character focused per se. It was more, it may have been 50-50, but I think it was more story driven, and they didn't spend a whole lot of time developing backstories. And I mean, they did, like Riker would have an episode, or Data would have his episode. Everybody would have their episode here and there, but for the most part, most of the stories were the story. It was the situation at hand. So
once
but Deep Space Nine got
over,
Deep Space Nine got way more into everybody's lives, and it was more. I hate to say it, but this is a good, like 90210 in space. You know, it was a way better drama than that. But
I saw more as Band of Brothers in space.
no, but either way you want to go, but I'm saying it was more character driven.
Yeah. Such a good shot, man. They don't make him like that no more, man. Damn.
No, that's Deep Space Nine was so good. Loved it.
Deep Space Nine is the top of the spinoffs in my book.
I don't insult Deep Space Nine by calling it a spinoff. If you
Well,
better
that's what
get
it
that,
is.
I'll tell you where you stand.
Hey, it is a spinoff of the original series, and of the spinoffs that we got, it's number one.
Hell
And
yeah.
if I had to take away the spinoff label and rank them, well, guess what? There's a tie for first place: the original series and Deep Space Nine.
Ooh.
And
Mike has dropped the mic.
I don't
Yeah,
entirely
yeah.
agree. I see the original series having the exact same things I don't like about Next Gen. Most of the episodes are little self-contained units, and you could literally not watch half of them and still get the gist of the show. To some, that might be a positive, because some people may like that, but I'm more for episodic series. So for me, I can't place original series. It's tied with the Next Gen, but I put like my list would be Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and then a tie for Next Gen and the original series, because I like those stories where it continues, like, oh, what's gonna happen next week, and if you miss next week, like, oh no, what happened? Whether it's Next Gen and the original, you could skip 2 episodes, go right back in, and nothing's different. You're like, oh, okay, nothing's changed. Okay, you miss an episode of Deep Space Nine, you can come back and be like, why is half the station on fire? What happened? What?
Where did they get that new ship? What happened here?
What the heck is a Defiant?
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of stuff,
That's a tough little ship. Little.
Because I can't really think of very many character arcs or changes of interactions between characters in Next Gen. Like they didn't even really, after Picard got Borgerized, there still wasn't any real consequences on that. Like the crew just went on about their business. Like there was no very few of any retouches on that massively epic plot point that not only the crew but the entire Federation was just like, okay, it's fine.
Next,
Which
we
is one of the things
got
that,
a whole new fleet. We destroyed our fleet. Now, 2 episodes later, we have a whole new fleet.
Okay,
Well, one thing I think about when I think about DS9 is the season 5 finale called Arms. When you see that massive fleet of Federation and Klingon ships heading toward the camera, and then season 6 opens up, and you can tell that they got their asses kicked.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, what happened? No. Wow. Where's your nacelle, bruh? Yeah, like I said that was that good. Even Orville, I love that. Orville handled. The Isaac thing. I mean,
Yes.
I'm gonna say it as non-spoilery as possible. But anyone who's watched the first couple of seasons will go ahead and assume, if you haven't watched season 3, that there's some issues with Isaac. And I'm like, they handled it pretty damn well. And it's not like, oh, that's handled, let's go on about our business. There's still ripples of that even currently.
Yeah, and even then, the same thing happened even from a plot point from few plot points from season 1. It was so well done.
Yeah.
And I know there's a certain character we all know who leaves, but the person they replaced her with, I think she just fit in with the. I think she just fit in the show way too well.
Oh, wait,
I think
are we talking about Wonder Woman?
No, I'm talking about in the Orville. I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil anything.
No,
for
I
you,
mean, I know. I'm using a code. Are we talking about like the chick that can punch through walls?
Essentially, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I hope they bring back the original because she was just, she was just adorable. I love her.
Yeah,
character.
I think there was something they said, but I know one of the more latest episodes. Yeah, I mean, we kind of got a little bit. I mean, she was supposed to represent some little bit of innocence with the series, but there was another character that getting introduced in season 3, and I think there's something not to go into spoilers, but I think now that innocence kind of maybe lost again. But we don't know how that's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen in the final episode. I can't believe we're already at the season finale already.
Hey, I still have an aneurysm every time I watch episode 1 of season 3. I'm like, what are you doing? Okay. You don't know me. I am ex-Navy, so when I saw them doing that live fire test right in the middle of the freaking fleet in dock, I was like, oh, court-martials for everyone. What are you doing? What are you freaking doing?
Yeah, I know, but also the thing is, the series was more of like it felt more like a straight up comedy at times in the first season, in the first 2 seasons, but then it like the humor is a little more subdued in this season.
Well, I do understand. It's understandable. Okay, I'm a writer myself, so I can understand that after what happened at the end of season 2, everyone would be like, "Holy shit, we can't be playing no games no more."
Yep.
So, but what still got me is even in season 1, I would not expect them to have done that in season 1. It's like, hey guys, I have a new, rifle desigin. Okay, and then the guy stands in the middle of the military base and just starts shooting at each other.
So it's a banana destroyer. Yeah, yes, it's a destroyer. Does it work on salads?
What?
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke from season 1.
Oh. I was like, wait, what?
Okay,
that's the only problem I have with the series so far.
Yeah, but that's the trademark. It's snappy, sort of like the kind of like jokes you get from like Seth MacFarlane.
Well, I mean, I like that he toned down the humor to the correct. For me, it's the correct level.
Yeah, I like that it's a little more subdued, and I know they're making these plot points a lot more serious in tone.
Yeah,
I got a feeling though about tonight's episode. We're gonna get the jokes.
Crap, I'm 3 episodes behind though.
Oh,
being the season finale, you think we get the jokes?
I hope we do.
I
haven't
been very jokey at all this season, so I don't know.
I'm hoping. I mean, there was one episode that was like, okay, yeah, there's too many plot points going on. That's not my actual name. I just do that as just like a little joke there, just because I have a bit of a love for aviation, as you couldn't tell from my avatar, but I can switch it back. But let's move into.
You have a love for aviation?
Yeah.
Oh.
And,
okay.
and a friend designed this thing I use for my avatar. A friend designed this for me.
So, are you familiar with War Thunder?
I'm aware of it, but I've not played it. I know I have, but I know it's kind of crazy though. I love aviation, but I loved movies like Top Gun. I like just seeing planes in action, but just not like into like playing those games. I mean, you want to see someone who really loves flight sim games? You should see my dad play them.
You was about to get drafted into the DDoD. I mean, you're about to be a squadron member. About to have to go and defend Nazi Germany, or not defeat Nazi Germany. The Firebirds,
Thunderbirds, and also
is it Blue Angels?
Yep.
Are those the F-18s or the F-4s?
The F-18s.
Okay. Well, it was blurry, so I didn't know which version.
Sorry, I know. I was just like, I don't know about this camera sometimes, but I know it's better than the built-in like integrated camera in the monitor I'm using.
Oh, I don't even have a camera, so I can't even say. I was like, oh, which version? Which version? Rough girl. What up, girl?
Yeah, but I chose this article at the last minute.
Mhm.
Let's get into it.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's the one. I was like, snap! Someone's gonna pick it because it's getting ridiculous.
Mhm. So this article comes from Star Wars News net.com, and it says Fiona Shaw on how Andor mirrors real world politics. It goes on to say, with the release of the new issue of Empire magazine, new images from the show and interviews featuring the cast and crew are being released online. In this new image, see above, well, the one that they're talking about is this up here.
Ooh.
We see Fiona Shaw's Marva interact with Diego Luna's Cassian Andor, an encounter that was already hinted at by the trailer when we saw Marva and B2 EMO together. Speaking to Shaw, the actress revealed to Empire that the show that Tony Gilroy came up with will be an exaggerated take on the reality we are living in now. Okay, it goes on to say Tony has written a great scurrilous take on the Trumpian world. Our world is exploding in different places right now. People's rights are disappearing, and Andor reflects that. In the show, the Empire is taking over, and it feels like the same thing is happening in reality too. She then added that the series has a lot of heart too. I was impressed by Tony's social realist intentions. He created a whole new morality. It's very deep and humane. There is grief, mourning, hope, fear. It's not just primary colors here. Goes on to say, Gilroy on his end explained how Andor fits in with the rest of his filmography. Andor comes from the same place as everything else that's come out of this office. Clayton, the Bournes, the Devil's Advocate, now this. It's all full on drama. Diego Luna also expressed his excitement about the final product. The series is insanely ambitious, dark, and real. Even as Tony was pitching me, I was like, this is amazing. You're sick. Andor just released its main trailer ahead of its 3-episode premiere on September 21st. We took a close look at what is presented and try to elaborate on a few theories about what the show could bring us. You can check out that out there. So I'm going to go ahead and post this link into the chat. Anybody who wishes to read it, they can do so.
Oh my.
So, all right. I want everybody's take. I want everybody's thoughts.
Yeah, first of all, can we all please collectively groan in 3, 2, 1?
Actually, I have a better proposal. On the count of 3, take a sip of something strong and then join me in a facepalm so hard that it might flatten your forehead. 3, 2, 1. Ow. Oh, yep, ow. Yep, that did it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Now I have
Only
a
chaos
forehead.
would do that. Only chaos would do that. Yep.
Now I have a 5 head. I did it. Oh.
Wait a minute, everybody. Wait a minute. I have to play some music before we get on our, thoughts and opinion on this, because there is somebody waiting in the wings, but I need the appropriate music to play before he is introduced.
Wait, why did I get theme music?
The Digital Department of Defense General, you will not kill McCracken!
What the hell?
A little too fancy for Phil. What are you doing?
Hey, thanks for the entrance music. I appreciate it. I like classical music. If you don't like classical music, you're not civilized.
Oh Lord, is it my arch nemesis?
I didn't know that you would fill our arch nemesis, but hey, whatever floats your boat.
What up, Philly Phil?
Nemesis.
How's everybody doing?
Doing good, Phil. Doing good.
I mean, I just face palmed myself into oblivion, so I'm still recovering.
Well, maybe I have an appropriate clip. Maybe I don't.
That was emotional and physical damage. So, I mean, I don't know if you can.
So, actually, this is how I'm taking it. You're trying to.
I will send you to Jesus.
You're trying to do that to yourself.
Yes, I almost hit myself there. Yes. It's punch and pie.
Just be good. Just be glad you didn't hear yourself below the belt.
Right? Well, right now, the Vegeta's theme song with the bells is ringing in my ears right now.
Oh, all right. So, everybody's thoughts on Andor.
Oh, I'm not
visually, it looks good visually, but after seeing what I saw with Obi-Wan,
I didn't watch Obi-Wan. I allowed you to torture me through episode 1 of Book of Boba Fett, or maybe 2. I don't know how many episodes you managed to get out of me before I tried to self-delete.
2. Not that I was keeping score.
That's why I was like, why do I have the this uncontrollable urge to delete myself? But so yes, and after that, I'm done. I've given up. I was like, oh, I'm done. So I don't even. I don't.
Exactly. That's Book of Boba Fett is like, I'm done. I mean, just like, why? What the frick are we? Why are we? What's up with those damn Vespa speeders? Like, what is going on with this?
Broke. He's so disappointed. His English broke.
What was with the Vespa speeders? It's like, why? I know, Robert Rodriguez, you directed like Spy Kids, but come on.
Okay. So, according to Doomcock Spies, they brought up that idea. Once Kathleen Kennedy heard that Dave Filoni hated it, she then approved it. Spent the money before he could do anything to stop it.
God damn it. But I'm going to say this even more. Look,
you pissed him off.
Why do we even need a series about, like, obviously the blandest character in Rogue One?
We know he's going to die.
Who cares about Casio Keyboard? He died. Why don't we get one about Chua, Donnie Yen's character? I want to see a freaking Masters of Terras Kaze TV series, but no. We're getting one about Casio Keyboard.
Actually, no, screw that. I want something like totally different than this. I want to see the 501st Chronicles.
Oh, that'd be good.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, Vader's fist going around the galaxy kicking ass and taking names.
Okay. I don't want no damn okay, Ahsoka, yes, because everyone hail to the Jedi Queen. Okay. The bestest ever done correctly. Hails. Oh God, I hated that chick at first, and now I'm like, I'm ready to die. She calls me up. I'm like, oh, you got problems? When I get there, whoever's bothering you, it's on site. Oh, it's not that serious. Okay, call me when it's that serious. But I want to see a bad guy perspective. I want to see because was it Commando? Was it one of those video games where you were like one of the 501st Commandos? I go, I want a 501st series.
You mean Republic Commando?
Yes, Republic Commando. I want a 501st from the end of the Clone Wars up until A New Hope. I want that time period. And not from the good guy side, from the bad guy side.
Well, we almost had that with Battlefront 2, but again, turncoat. It was a freaking turncoat. Iden Versio is a damn turncoat, is what she is.
Oh, I know, but I mean, I want a show, but not by this current. I almost said administration.
No. Star Wars after Book of Boba Fett. I actually had the important pleasure of having to binge the show. And not go it every week, but seriously. But even now that like Gina Carano's gone, Mandalorian's not going to be all that good because she's not there.
Okay,
and real quick, Phil, you and I were there watching episode 1 of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh,
and what did we both think after episode 1? Because we both thought the same thing.
We were praising it, and I went into that not wanting to praise it. I was praising episode 1.
It was good. Episode 1 was good.
After this stream, you're gonna have to provide some receipts.
You're gonna have to watch episode 1, but I won't be able to do it after this stream because I have a live Orville reaction stream to do after this.
Oh, okay. Well then what? Okay. Pray continue.
Yes. It wasn't just Phil and I. There were some other people there watching it with us, and we thought episode 1 was good.
That was a crazy night because episode 1, we were all praising it.
Wow.
And then we saw episode 2, and someone took a baseball bat. So, hey, look, I'm going to say this, and you'll see it. The only reason I'm going to watch Endor is because, fact, Disney's going to care about Endor. It's their baby. The other part of Star Wars, they don't. How can I put? They don't give a crap.
Yeah, well, guess what? I don't give a crap about this character.
They didn't care about Obi-Wan. You can see it in everything. They're not taking Cassian Andor and saying, "Oh, we're deciding tomorrow he's going to be bisexual." Who cares? Who cares? But today they'll destroy every George Lucas character in every which way possible.
Yeah,
Okay.
but even they're gonna make Cassie. They're obviously gonna have
as a rebuttal.
I think it's gonna be.
Ray was their literal poster child baby, and she was a pile of ass. So,
look, the craziness of Star Wars, especially Disney Star Wars, they don't need to go there with all this craziness. They don't need to go there.
Well, that's the whole
I have a
point,
question.
Phil. They're woke as hell. They're woke.
I have a question. It was called Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I mean, oh my god, I'm so terrible. The black chick's name, her character's name, Reva. That was a pile of ass. That's that's just
Look, as
their kind of character. Ray, a pile of ass. Their kind of character.
Astro, a friend of mine, check out his channel and check out Freestyle Fridays whenever he gets around doing it. And Nerdwise, but he absolutely does not like the Inquisitors, and I kind of don't like them either. But the second sister in Jedi Fallen Order was a more competent Inquisitor than this chick was.
Oh yeah, she was pretty badass. I was like, okay.
Well, even the ninth sister's more badass. The ninth sister could probably break her in half with her bare hands.
Hey, I got her arm on my wall. Okay, I have that post right there. I remember cutting that thing off. Yeah.
Cool. But I'm serious though. It's just like no. Those two were more competent Inquisitors than this chick was, and she tried to think she could just take down Darth freaking Vader, and it was only just because she can kill her. So basically, yeah, she was good the whole time.
To be fair, I do believe KK keeps her dark tentacles off of the games, so that's why Jedi Fallen Order wasn't a giant pile of festering ass cheeks left out on the corner during summertime.
Yeah.
Well,
I think KK
when it comes
so entitled that she
Wars,
believes that the games are beneath her.
Okay, let Phil speak. Let Phil speak.
Is that it is you can stick a fork into it after this Cassian Andor. If Obi-Wan didn't kill it and Cassian Andor becomes a flop, you can put an end to Star Wars. Star Wars is up there with Doctor Who. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't stick a fork in it already.
And this thing I'm going to bring up, for the last 4 years, that's all you heard is KK's out of the picture. KK's going to be done. Her thing in Star Wars, KK was never done. Never.
No,
all that. Look. This is not against anybody on YouTube. All that's hearsay, and everything that was said is hearsay. Even now, you still hear it. Nothing against certain people on YouTube that bring up, "Oh, she's done" or "She'd be moved out." How many things have we heard over the last 4 years? From everything from she's not there, she's only a figurehead, to they're going to redo the sequel trilogy. Look, don't listen to it until you actually hear the fact and they release a statement saying they're doing something. Everything is hearsay. You get people's hopes up, and I think that leading up to Boba Fett, you had so much hearsay going on, and everybody saying this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and nothing. Again, people saying that, and other people saying, "Oh, we're getting the best Star Wars ever."
No, that's
then people aren't saying it no more.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, though. Yeah, we already know KK's been in charge. Heck, even moments in The Mandalorian with seeing Fennec Shan and Cara Dune, all of them, I'm pretty sure that entire scene and like Bo-Katan, I think that entire scene probably put a tear in KK's eye.
Like I said, KK, she knows how to stick around. She from time immemorial, she's always been, I hate to say it, a glorified coffee getter.
Yep.
They have her in all these movies, but really, what did she do in all these movies? Hold Spielberg's coffee, make sure he gets his lunch, ask him to get her into Lucasfilm. I ain't seen a film she did that she's tied to that I can say I can see her mark in.
This brings up a question. Why the hell did George Lucas leave her in charge? I got questions. And I mean, I got questions that I can't ask on someone else's live stream, but what did she do to get that position, George?
Nothing makes sense. I don't know. I just don't
Doggy
know.
position.
I think that.
Oh my gosh!
I think the reason that she got the job because Rick McCallum.
Here we go.
That escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Is that what you're trying to say?
If anybody didn't know who Rick McCallum was, that was number 2 behind George Lucas for the longest time. And when George Lucas sold, he was gone. He was gone. And I think she just fell into the job.
And this is when Pacific knew the stream went off the rails.
Yeah. What was we talking about again? Oh, Andor.
We're talking about Andor, but we can move on to this next story if you'd like to.
Yes, let's move on now because this is just gonna keep making us angry. We already know Star Wars is dead. It's been dead.
Yes.
All right. So this next article comes from Yahoo Entertainment. It says Iowa native Elijah Wood producing AMC reboot of 80s pop culture drama Max Headroom.
Oh God,
Max Headroom. You are getting ready for it. The Max Headroom experience.
Oh, good God, no.
Max Headroom wasn't even good back then.
I mean,
it only lasted 2 seasons. I don't even think it did. It only lasted 1 season, didn't it?
Hey, there is some great shows that only last 1 season.
He was pretty much everywhere. He was like,
yeah.
Only because of the technology they used to make Max Headroom. That was the biggest thing. Yeah. And what was his name? The guy that played him?
Matt something. I forgot, but I know
Matt Fuhrer or Fuhrer.
Yeah, he was in an episode of The Outer Limits, and he was also in like Zack
he was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
He was in that what was that?
He was also in an episode of Next Generation.
Next Generation. He was the time traveler guy.
He did a Stephen King TV show movie.
Yeah, but the point is he was he was a funny dude, and he played Max Headroom very well the way it was, but the whole premise of the show didn't work, and it didn't last very long, and it went down in 80s pop culture, because of of what they did with that, the whole digital, and it was like on the forefront of digital animation sort of thing.
It was weird. He had like a Pee-wee Herman type vibe, which is weird.
Yeah, but it just didn't work, and it didn't last, and why in the world are they trying to redo it? It's not. I mean, that was a product of its day. You can't make that happen again and try to capture something that never had.
Yeah.
I will answer that question once and for all whenever you want to ask that question. Why? Because Hollywood is out of original ideas.
Mm-hmm.
This is new information.
People keep asking, why do you like? They keep bringing back. Oh, when is the last new epic IP? We can't even say Top Gun Maverick because they went, hey, let's just bring something old back again. I'm glad they did, but come on. When have they come up with something new? When is the last new thing they came up with that has hit the ground and took off running? I can't even think of one.
It's all been done.
Huh?
It's all been done before.
Exactly. I mean, sure, some things have been inspired by other things, but heck, we already know that like Indiana Jones wasn't really an original concept, but it was still kind of timeless.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what I mean is, okay, pretty much, as you guys are right, every concept has pretty much almost been done in some way, shape, or form. Okay, it's not the story you're telling; it's how are you telling this story. But they just keep picking things that have directly already been told and going, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take this story, okay, and then we're gonna just add sprinkles. All right.
That'd be butt sprinkles,
right?
I was going to say they're not even good sprinkles.
No, they're terrible sprinkles. It's like, is this sprinkles or fertilizer? What are you putting on my sundae? Stop it.
Rat turds.
Right?
Ew.
So for the most part, like I said, Hollywood won. They have lost the plot. It's done. They're done. It's a slow motion train wreck from now. And like a lot of commentators, like there's no point of us really bitching and complaining and whatever, thinking that they're going to listen to the countless thousands of podcasters out there telling them how they're screwing up and they're still doing the same thing.
They don't care. That's the thing. They don't give a shit.
There are people that are listening to are a bunch of like blue-haired land whales on Twitter. That's all they're really listening to.
Well, yes,
or a bunch of douchey hipsters who think they're cool when they're really not.
Yes, and these corporations, these Hollywood studios will die on this hill for the message. They don't care about money. They don't care about making money. And then what's going to happen? Those who aren't crazy, not necessarily on the opposing side, but those who just think for themselves or think differently will make their own parallel things, such as
Eric July. Look at Eric July with the Rippaverse.
Yep. Yes. Rippa is kicking the industry's ass by himself. Ethan Van Sciver, I'm like, dude, that's what's going to happen. No one is going to convince these idiots in Hollywood to change their ways. They will not change their ways. They will go down in flames. Like the little puppy dog, this is fine meme with the building burning down. No company has ever turned around in time to save their asses after making mistakes such as this.
Protect the world as it goes down in flames.
Yes, they burn to the ground, and while they're burning, other companies pop up and fill the void, which is what's happening with Daily Wire and the Rippaverse, and Ethan Van Sciver and his frog thing. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. Independent video game companies. I think that's the only reason why the video game industry hasn't gone completely to shit is because there's enough indie gamers out there producing good stuff where some of these companies like, we kind of do have to make at least something good every once in a while. Or these indies are going to come in and swoop up everything. Huh?
Like Cuphead or Minecraft?
Yeah, or Miss Survival.
Or take a look at the release of Shredder's Revenge. A nice, homage to previous Turtles games that came out before. And it's done right.
Oh yeah, I need to get that game so we can have a full squad and just kick some shell all over the place. I'm gonna stick my foot in the butts of some foot.
Well, there's also the Cowabunga collection coming out on the 30th of this month, and you've already heard what I'm gonna do.
Leonardo on deck, bruh. I'm on deck.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into this article from Yahoo Entertainment. This is the one that was selected by Barron. And it says, Cedar Rapids native and Lord of the Rings star Elijah Wood is producing a reboot of a popular but short-lived 80s-era series, Max Headroom.
Oh, God.
The pop culture drama about the world's first artificial intelligence TV personality starring Matt Fuhrer aired for 2 seasons between 1987 and 88 on ABC. Fuhrer will now co-produce and reprise his role in the comeback show airing on AMC as first announced by Deadline. The show's release date has not been announced. The character Max Headroom was first introduced in the 1985 British cyberpunk TV movie Max Headroom 20 Minutes into the Future. The character became an instant pop culture icon and went on to host a music video show, star in New Coke ads, and appear on the cover of Newsweek, according to Deadline. And that's why New Coke failed.
Oh, damn. That's savage. Nice.
Headroom was known for a snarky commentary and occasional stutter that made him seem like a CGI character. The show's premise centers around journalist Edison Carson Fuhrer, whose mind is copied and uploaded into an AI program called Max Headroom. After Carson is knocked unconscious in a car crash while investigating a plot involving a corrupt television network, you don't say.
Right.
The series and character are still referenced today in shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and by artists such as Eminem and Selena Gomez. Goes on to say the reboot adaptation is written by *Halt and Catch Fire* co-creator Christopher Cantwell, who is also serving as the showrunner. The series is produced by Wood and Daniel Noah's Spectre Vision and All 3 Media. Wood is originally from Cedar Rapids, where he grew up and lived until age 7, when a talent agent discovered him. Wood is a movie, television, and video game actor and is best known for portraying Frodo Baggins in Peter Jackson's adaptation of the Lord of the Rings trilogy and prequel, which is really the only Lord of the Rings we need as far as live action is concerned.
Wait, Frodo? He was what?
Yes.
Didn't know that?
You didn't know that?
No.
Take away his nerd card. Take it away.
Yep.
Oh, you dumbass!
What?
Get him off here. Get him off here, Mike.
Oh my!
Get him out. Yep.
He is
Wait, Frodo? The original Lord of the Rings movies.
Yes.
Yes.
from 2000. Yeah.
Yay.
Yes.
Elijah Wood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, either Elijah Wood is older than I thought, or wow.
The guy is like he can't age. I mean,
He's like a forever kid.
Yeah, kind of in a way. He's kind of like that. He's kind of a forever kid.
Okay, so just prosthetics. So Max Headroom to me looked like he was in his 30s back in the 80s. So I'm like, wait, how the fuck is that Frodo?
No, you're getting confused. That's Frodo.
This is Elijah Wood right here.
Yeah.
That's Matt Fuhrer.
Yep.
Let me bring up a picture of Matt Fuhrer.
Okay, I'm tripping.
No shit.
Oh, Matt Fuhrer also played in the TV movie.
I cannot put Elijah Wood's face on Matt Headroom.
The X-Men TV movie. What's that called?
Oh yeah, the New Mutants.
No, it wasn't New Mutants. Hold on a second. What was that called? Dang it! It was back in the 90s. They made a TV movie.
I think I'm blanking on the name, but it's something mutants.
I got it here.
Elijah Wood was Max. I can't get over that. That's just.
No. Elijah Wood wasn't Max Headroom. He was Frodo. I'm bringing up who was Max Headroom.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm tripping. Never mind. Withdrawn.
Generation X. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Matt Fuhrer, also known as Max Headroom. He was also in the episode of Next Generation where the guy who claimed to be from the 25th century actually was from the 22nd century, stole a time ship and stole a tricorder and a few other trinkets from the Enterprise until he was caught.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and the episode of Outer Limits he was in a thing where he where he finally meets his dream woman, marries her, but it turns out she's actually an alien in disguise the whole time, and he starts noticing when he like finds out she's very repugnant, like it's like she smells and just tastes disgusting, and she's like dead or something from his perspective. She looks like a giant like walking blob or something.
It's gross.
Yeah,
also,
no.
Honey and
Also,
Kids,
Clint Howard was in it. Also, Clint Howard was in that episode too, as like his best friend. Yeah, go check out that episode of The Outer Limits from the 1995. It was called First Anniversary. Go check that episode out.
That just gave me trauma.
And how are you doing, Crit?
Me. I'm doing good. Did you guys talk about Batgirl yet?
Not yet. I have that story lined up. It'll be the last story of the evening.
Oh, I got
Week 6.
I got a wonderful story for you. It's about Andor.
Oh, we already
kind of covered it, but elaborate.
Yeah, there you go. I sent it to you, Pacific.
Okay.
That makes me sigh.
You missed both the groan and the face palm.
Yeah.
It was epic. I almost killed myself.
He did.
Oh, you already talked about Fiona Shaw?
Yeah, how it's gonna reflect modern times. It's like I'm gone. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not watching this show.
Yeah,
I don't like I never really found Cassian Andor was probably the most boring ass character in Rogue One.
What? Why do we need to have like shows that have modern politics in it?
Because it's all about spreading the message.
They got TDS really bad.
Not only that, they don't understand that each one of these franchises have their own universes.
Desperation is palpable.
As I sat back and said, Star Trek was your Selma, Alabama, that type of show talking about issues. Star Wars was about Normandy Beach. This was about it's Star Wars. It's about battling an empire trying to take back, and not political in that sense. I mean, obviously there were political references.
Yeah, they drew a lot of inspiration from there. Yeah,
you can't get away from it. You have to have something.
Right. Exactly, but it wasn't the driving force of it all. It was all about good versus evil and trying to topple the empire. Well, all these people at Disney think that basically Star Wars, Star Trek, same thing. So let's have these shows now tackle social issues. And it's like, no, that's not what Star Wars is about. Star Wars is about adventure, swashbuckling. It's it's your Saturday morning matinee serials.
Good guys, bad guys.
Yeah, and
explosion.
Also, one other note in Discovery: how is there a paraplegic person in the 24th century? Like, don't you think we would have cured all diseases by that time? There would probably there'd be no people paralyzed in the future.
Geordie LaForge was blind.
Well, he was blind, but he had that thing to see, and of course, he eventually got cybernetic
eyes.
He
couldn't really see. He could see the effects. He couldn't see like the color or the physical, the spectrums. Yeah.
Wait, didn't they replicate a whole ass spinal cord for Worf?
They even had an episode where they're like, you could see it as like a pro-abortion episode, or no, pro-anti-abortion, something like pro-life. But basically, Geordie straight up says, I'm glad that I was born this way.
Oh, yeah, I remember that episode. Yeah, I remember.
It was a good episode.
So, like, your parents didn't kill you or something? And he was like, no.
Yeah, because there was this society, and I think that's coming up on TNT with Paul, because it was like a perfect society, and you know what? There's problems with the perfect society. You can't have everything set up for you in a way where
Mouse Utopia. Yep, Mouse Utopia.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's too easy. Everything just starts to degrade. Which is actually what's happening right now. We literally are going through the Mouse Utopia experiment as it. which is kind of funny. I go, maybe that happened with not mice, but that can't happen with humans. And I'm sitting here watching it happen with humans. I'm like, wow. First world problems. Just wow.
Yep, that's pretty much what the majority of these morons on Twitter keep screaming about.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, and there are also people that don't. Most of them don't care about the property. They never watched it or read it, and they don't intend on doing it. They just like going out there screaming and yelling and forcing things their way, and then moving on to the next target to destroy. I mean, obviously, you have some that are within the fan base, but many of these people don't know what these are. You have people who are watching these Star Wars series that's never seen Star Wars. You're having people who are watching these so-called Star Trek series without having seen any Star Trek prior to that. You have people who are watching Doctor Who that have never seen the original Doctor Who series. They don't understand what the shows are about. And more importantly, the people who are doing these shows don't know anything about it. The people doing the Rings of Power, they don't know a damn thing about Tolkien. And they even sat back and said it. And they're just going out there and inventing their own world in there with their egotism, thinking that they're on par, if not greater, than Tolkien himself.
That's not what they actually think. So, from what I've been gathering and watching, because like I said, I'm what would be called an amateur historian. Now, there's lots of rhetoric and what's not being thrown around when it comes to certain things, but if you take a one-to-one comparison, a lot of people like to throw around the term Yahtzee, oh yeah, let's play a game of Yahtzee, but what Hollywood is doing right now, what certain political, we'll say, organizations are doing, is literally doing the exact playbook that went down in 1938. January 6th, they expected a lot more damage to be done to that Capitol. The articles of impeachment were dated November 5th, the day before the actual protest. And the rhetoric in that document implies they were expecting buildings to be burnt to the ground. This was supposed to be their Reichstag event that they could then say, a certain mustached man did. These people burnt down the Capitol building. Now I need emergency powers to take command. I'm like, are these people using the same script? So Hollywood is literally a propaganda machine, just like it was used back then in a certain organization in a certain European country during a certain time period. Because they are literally, just like that organization did, they are using Hollywood actors and television programs to try to brainwash the people into believing a certain view. And just like they did back then, they're trying to censor or just straight up destroy any news organizations that aren't pushing that exact same message.
Well,
so expect
ages. I mean,
go ahead.
This type of thing's gone through ages. I mean,
it's history repeating itself.
News, old is new again. It's since going back to the Roman age or whatever. And of course, what's the best way to get your message out there? It's through whatever popular media you have, whether it's book, radio, television, some guy standing on a box on the corner spouting things off. It doesn't matter. If they can use it, and then of course, like you said, silence those that dare say otherwise. They will do so. And as I sat back and said, if anybody if anyone who was aghast about the McCarthy era, and they're all for what's going on now with the cancel culture, just shut up now. You have no right to say anything about McCarthyism because it wasn't the government that was blacklisting people. It was the studios in reaction to it because he didn't want to have a backlash from the public. It was not government censoring that was happening. Exactly what's going on now. And as Orson Bean sat back and said, because he was blacklisted even though he wasn't a communist, as he sat back and said he was trying to date a girl and get in her pants, and so he would show up at these events because she was a communist. But he was blacklisted for a whole year. But he sat back and said that the McCarthy era was a backlash from something that was happening in the 30s when you had basically the pro-socialist Soviet communist people rising up then and trying to push their way because it was fashionable. It was fashionable.
That's what's happening. A lot of these things is like a trend now, but see, they're a little bit of hopium for everyone to puff passes. I don't think history is going to repeat itself. Currently, I think this might be one of the possible time periods that breaks the cycle due to one very, 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 very important tool to counter tyranny. And it's the internet. The fact that
look how often they tried to control it.
Well, they try to control it, but the thing is that people who want to know the truth can go out and find the truth because of the internet. Like back in a certain time period, the only way information could get disseminated was through newspapers and radio, and corporations and entities owned those things. Now it's like anybody can right now. What we're doing now, we are just idiots in front of a camera speaking our mind, and it can literally go out and potentially reach millions. That alone. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
I wouldn't say the internet is the the internet may have access to truthful information and context that some of these mainstream media companies chose to not show sides. I would not ever say the internet is thank goodness for the internet, because you seem to forget the enemy number one, the new regime that we don't know about, but it's there. The regime of the Twitter bots and drones and
the deep state, guys. Okay.
And the people that want to cancel anything they disagree with. Also try to pander to many people. Basically, if you do something wrong, then the Twitter army will get you, and you will not work in Hollywood if you say the wrong things, because the Twitter army dictates now what people can or cannot say. I would say,
not to mention if you're just a normal person, you have
you kind of got that. I think you got that backwards, because I think a lot of people think it's the Twitter mob. But I believe that most of like Elon Musk has been exposing that most of the Twitter mob are bots, and those bots are controlled by the Hollywood elites, who are controlled by the deep state, not the other way around.
Well, didn't they expose the fact that Hillary Clinton, about 45% of her followers are bots, and over 50% of Joe Biden's are bots as well?
Exactly. So it's Hollywood and the deep state controlling Twitter, not the other way around. Twitter is like a scapegoat. Oh no, it's Twitter. No, it's not. Twitter's the puppet. Hollywood is also the puppet. The deep state criminals are the ones who are pulling the strings.
AKA Klaus Schmidt.
Yes, and that one World Economic Forum Bond villain looking dude.
Yep. Yeah, I always figured that.
He was evil.
But I mean, it seems like for you calling Phil your arch nemesis, you do seem to think a lot alike.
Okay. Phil is good at trolling me. That's why I called him my arch nemesis. I love that guy. It's just me. It was an inside joke that you just met me for the first time. So yes, that me and Phil, we're cool. He makes me laugh. Okay, so that's what I said. Oh, it's my arch nemesis. Welcome, Sir Phil. But yes, we yes. Pacific wants to have a freaking show where me and him just unleash our full crazy on each other, and he sits back with popcorn and laughs.
That probably won't ever happen.
Well, yes, the thing is, we gotta understand the puppeteers and whatnot, and the fact that the internet is such a powerful. Look how they try to shadow ban, they try to block, try to deplatform. PayPal, they took over payment processors to try to control your funds so they can starve you out. Like, no, they are losing. These are signs of desperation.
You want to know something that this very platform that we're on right now has done to two very good YouTubers. and that's Coach and Nick from Echo Base Network. They demonetized their channel on Monday. Didn't give them any reason why they were doing that. They just flat out of the blue demonetized them.
They were making YouTube shorts. That's what happened to Mr. Two Star Wars Nerds as well.
Okay, hold on. You want to talk about a wrongdoing? You guys remember? I know you guys, all of you guys are, because well, not all of you, but I assume that you guys are gamers, obviously. But what they did to the Ackman, I was like, oh hell no.
The internet's nerd, Chad.
What they did to the Ackman should be illegal. He literally pointed out how that bastard Quantum was violating all kinds of rules, making threats, doxing, and doing literally everything that should get you kicked off the platform. And they demonetized him for showing them how they're violating their own. I was like, how? I don't know how this is legal. Like, this kind of.
I think the reason why they don't want to ban him is because he's a person of color, and that's the reason why we don't want to be seen as racist or anything like that. That's probably the reason why they just kept it. But since like Agman's a white dude, like no, yeah, we can get rid of him. Yeah, he's evil, so yeah, we can do that.
And Coach and Nick are good dudes. They do good content on their channel.
I mean, I'd say. Go ahead.
And, you know, when they have an objective opinion, they let it know. Sometimes Nick doesn't agree with Coach. Sometimes Coach doesn't agree with Nick. But guess what? They still give their objective opinion on something.
And that's the beauty of discourse. But most people don't want that. Or at least the people who are who obviously are too stuck in their echo chamber to actually want to ever speak out.
Me personally, I like talking to people who don't agree with me. Because I don't learn anything. Like, okay, if me and Pacific talk politics, I learn nothing new because we both have pretty much the same damn opinion on most issues. There's very few issues where me and him are in disagreement. So if we talk, we're like, yo, this is fucked up. Yeah, that is. And we're like, okay. But if I talk to someone else and they're like, I'm like, this is fucked up. And they're like, no, that's fine. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean that's fine? Why would you think that's fine? And we have a conversation. As long as they're not like, NPC, I may walk away with some more data to add into my calculations to go, am I tripping? I might go, I need to look up some more things to figure out, whatever. Because like I said, I believed all of the Trump propaganda prior to the 2020 election because the rhetoric got so insane that I go, wait a minute. I have to, if he did all these things, how is he not in jail? And then when I started, peeling back layers, I go, oh, this is all bullshit. So it's like, I want people who have different opinions than me, and I want to interact with them, and I want to go, why do you have that opinion? Here's why I have my opinion. Why do you have your opinion? Let's exchange notes, exchange informations. And even if you decide I'm just going to be closed-minded and walk away stupid, or not stupid, but walk away with my mind closed, I'm going to go, I'm going to take this information you told me, and I'm going to go poke around a little bit to just, to see if I'm wrong on some issues, then adjust my stance. So I prefer people who disagree with me than people who agree with me. Personally, I'm saying I learn more from them, as long as they have a logical argument.
And welcome, Cash. Yeah. Glad you could be here, brother.
Welcome.
It's Cash Money.
Oh, yes. That money.
Make it rain.
It's Cash Money.
Cash Money buys me burgers. I'm not. Oh, yeah. I forgot my name is Burger now because I hate what I eat.
He'll buy you redheads because he hates them, according to Phil McCracken. So.
Oh, Baron. Baron, your new name is
about
Bacon.
Stuff. It's nothing new, really.
Your new name is Bacon because we're now what we eat. Your cat is Mouse. You are Bacon. I am double quarter pounder with cheese, and Pacific is popcorn.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
What did I join?
You joined a stream where chaos is just that. Chaos.
Yes, I can see that.
You were warned.
Or both.
And I think I'm already liking this guy.
Never underestimate the power of the dark side.
Indeed.
Execute.
Excellent.
All right.
Oh, sorry, wrong franchise.
I enjoy it. Thank you for your praise, my master.
Well, as long as none of you decide to go, and by none of you, I'm talking about you guys on the panel. As long as you decide not to say this, let me just find it. I got too many darn videos on here.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I find your lack of shield disturbing.
What the hell is an aluminum falcon?
Yes, I can use the aluminum falcon to place upon my cranium and therefore protect me from all of the waves. Yes.
Somebody tuning into this stream for the first time is probably thinking this right now.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yo.
Assholes.
That's pretty accurate.
I am here doing weird things with the glass.
All right, so TKO DDOD, the chaotic one, provided this article for this evening, and it says, "Why are they making it woke? GTA 6 confirmed to have a Latino protagonist. Internet gets divided over perceived forced wokeness."
So is she going to be going around killing prostitutes and throwing them on the cars?
No, what she's going to be doing is it doesn't matter if it's a man, a woman, a half helicopter, a small little mushroom man, whatever. It's just she's going to be always talking down probably to the men, and the men are going to be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
And then you turn on.
I don't know, but it's possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is TKO from WTF What the Fuck Radio, coming to you live from the Pacific 411 coast. Now, we are going to take out a new article.
Whoa. Pacific 411?
Yes.
Right. Pacific 414.
Negative.
Jesus.
You dial 911 when you are in actual danger. You dial 411 when you need help from brain cancer. Anyways, now
this is 414. There's no 411 here.
So in this GTA 6, you're a strong female Latino, and then you get in the car, and then you turn in. It's like Weasel News.
No.
And then you get.
You are a strong, empowered female woman with purple hair, and your mission is to drive around Miami, spray painting BLM on everything, while busting into buildings, stealing things, then going to a Starbucks and having a $10 latte on your $12,000 Apple.
Hold on. We've got a voice of reason here in backstage right now. Please welcome Pops, the voice of reason.
Hail. Wait, I'm the voice of reason? Boy, man, I got a whole bunch of people that will tell you and disagree with that assessment, Mike. So thank you so much for having me in that introduction. What am I trying to throw some water on? I don't understand.
Probably DOD.
Oh, GTA 6.
Oh, no.
Grand Theft Auto 6.
It's been woke, right? Yeah, it's woke.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard about that. Freaking ridiculous.
And you forgot the part when she's sipping on that latte, she's looking for a girl to go home with, too.
That's right.
You have to put that part in it because we have to have the full.
And her as a white, lesbian, blue-haired feminist is going to tell me how I should be offended as a black, straight man. Right.
I know Baron.
That makes two of us.
I know Baron will at least remember, but the entire premise of GTO was that it was just the opposite of everything that's politically correct. It was literally like totally billed as just the way to be raunchy and chaotic and crazy. That's the entire premise of its existence.
Yep.
If you play like Vice City, for example, it's in a lot of ways just a takeoff of Scarface. You get a big mansion, you go around shooting people, cops shoot at you, you shoot at them, you beat up hookers, and it just goes on and on. It's just they beat you up too.
Hold on. I never beat them up. I appreciated them and gave them flowers.
There's going to be plenty of there's going to be plenty of missions where you shoot cops, and mainly those are the main missions. And then you listen to the news and they talk about how Orange Man got indicted for some reason, and it's just
pretty much. It's all possible that could.
How's it going, Zan Zoltan?
How you doing, man?
Zan Zoltan.
Happy anniversary.
Right.
How you doing?
I hope people don't like to hear themselves talk, because this stream just hit the peak, the pinnacle of talkity talk. Okay,
don't get me started. You're pushing me. You're tempting me. I'm here. I will not stop until somebody calls patriarchy, man.
Well, we got Pop, we got Zan Zoltan, we got D-Dod. It's over, boys. Mike, you done lost the stream now. Me and Baron and Crit and Cash just leave the room and let them have it.
Are we all friends?
You will be silent.
Are we off the rails officially, or are we still on?
Is she going to be driving a Tesla or a Prius?
Let's go ahead and read this. I mean, it's already escalated a lot ago, but
everything has, Mike.
You know they can never like drive a Tesla because it's from Elon Musk, and they hate them. So it should probably be a price.
Hold on, one quick second. Y'all listening? I know y'all laughing. So y'all mother flippers better hit that damn like and subscribe button.
I'm already subscribed and I'm liking it. So
yeah. Everybody that's on the panel's already subscribed, dude.
I'm in the audience.
I never did.
Whatever insane people are listening to us.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'll find you.
Okay. Let me get to this article. So it says, since its first release on PC, Grand Theft Auto has become one of the most popular games in the world. Its latest edition, Grand Theft Auto 5, released back in 2013. The game's almost 10 freaking years old, and they're just now.
It's the Skyrim legacy, It's been 84 years, and they're still remaking it.
Go King, something else. I don't know. I can't speak that shit. Okay.
All right. And they're saying that GTA 5 has sold over 150 million copies by 2021. The fact that people are still buying the game just
mind boggles you. Areas behind the epiphany of mind bogglediness. That's a real word I just made up. Mind bogglediness. Wikipedia that.
Well, here in Argentina, it's like here in Argentina, it's not. It's like buying 2 Cokes. I'm not joking. That's the price of that game. So yeah.
Really?
It's like 500 pesos. So it's like buying 2 Cokes. I'm not joking. 2 liter Cokes.
Pesos. I love it.
You don't even need the online for a game like GTA 5. You could just play the campaign, and right there is $60.
But they need your money.
Or whatever.
They need your money cash, so you need to buy cash cards.
GTA 5 is one of those. GTA 5, like a lot of the Grand Theft Auto games, is something that you can buy on PC. You can find on the console. You can get on a PlayStation. It's just that much fun, and it's worth buying at least a few times. But I would say, I would definitely say, right, 2600. I don't think it ever came out for that.
It's the year 2045, and people are still playing Grand Theft Auto 5.
You know what? Don't be playing that. That might be a thing.
Yeah,
crack out Andreas every once in a while.
But the PC version is probably the best version because you can actually add in your own radio station, which is so cool.
The only radio station is GTA radio station, so I don't know what you're talking about. You're speaking treasonous blasphemy right now.
You're watching Los Santos Rock Radio.
Yep.
You know how many times I died listening to the radio because it was so damn funny? I got killed because I was laughing.
GTA was not ever afraid to make fun of anything. anything.
Yeah.
They make fun of all kinds.
That's
of
what made
stuff.
it awesome.
Phrase
Mhm.
was
Yes.
It's now
Well,
going.
according to this
decided-
article,
Next thing you know, they're gonna make like Leisure Suit Larry buy.
Oh no, they're
Is
gonna
there
make
a
Leisure Suit Larry
game.
No, Leisure Suit Larry will be a game instead of you'll just talk to a girl and then you go pay for her meal and then you'll drop her off at home and then you'll go home and study for your SATs. I don't know.
No,
well, let's find. Let's find out what it says in this article.
You don't want to know.
All right. It says the game is famous for open world mechanics, stylish cars, exciting action, cheat code, and so much more. Besides the common expectations from a game, the series is also appreciated for its interesting storyline and character, while enhanced by its beautiful scores. Is GTA 6 in production? Fans have been waiting for almost a decade to hear a peep on development of Grand Theft Auto 6. Unfortunately, they are regularly disappointed at game conventions where Rockstar could announce a big event and end up talking about ports, updates, and remasters. And by the way, the remaster of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, not even worth it.
It even has censorship in it. Besides being buggy, it's ridiculous.
It doesn't work like it was a simple they should have just made like a report and that's it, not a remake. It was not necessary. We already knew that. But
They already had the port.
yeah, but that's the problem. They even had the port and they just like deleted the port and then just pushed this remake and it was bullshit. I even had like in the Xbox the old games for the Xbox 360, and once they released this one, they tried to like take it out from the entire like catalog. And I was like, "Are you for real? It's 200. I'm not joking. It's like 200 pesos, and the other one was like 3,000." And I was like, "You can buy the 3 different games for less than $2, and you have to pay for like 50 for the new one." I was like, "Who's gonna pay that much?"
This man's accent makes you want to have a sword fight in very snazzy outfit on like a cliff with a sunset and accusing someone of killing my father. I don't know why.
Yes, folks. Yes. Chaos went there. Chaos went there.
Oh, this guy's accent lit up with epic music in the background.
All right, so this article continues by saying, but with mixed reception, Rockstar Games finally announced the production of the next game this year in a tweet. Despite all the hype and expectation from fans, looks like Rockstar Games has ended up losing a lot of goodwill with them due to the extended delay. Well, of course, people have waited 10 years practically for the next installment. You shouldn't have to wait 10 years for another installment of a game.
Oh, you're telling me about Kingdom Hearts or what?
Look at what Rockstar did with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Hold up, stop.
Let Cash speak. Let Cash speak.
You need to load it up because he hit me right in my feels. So you know
Dude,
what to do.
I had to wait 15 years too. I'm a big fan of Kingdom Hearts. And I had to wait 15 I bought every game waiting for that, and when I saw that 2.9 bullshit, I was like, not again! Not again!
Emotional damage! Okay. I did it myself. Oh,
welcome to the Chaos Zone, Pops.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sort comic books. I figured it would be a little crazy, so I'm good. I'm bagging the board.
What was Cash gonna say?
So Red Dead Redemption 2 was supposed to have all this cool online stuff, and even friends that Crit and I know, we've talked about this in VC before in Discord, and it was that they were going to have heists, they were going to have this. They screwed over those people. Now the online's pretty much dead, and you can still play it, but the game itself is fine, the campaign, but the online they just screwed over for basically GTA. And they could have done both, and they could have made everything awesome. Like there could have been so many heists and a lot of heists and different stuff that you had in Red Dead Redemption 2 online that you would have in GTA. but they basically just screwed the game from basically day one, as anybody who's been playing it. So that's not good. That right there with Rockstar, we're going in a bad direction.
Can I ask something? Do you hate also the Naturalist? I hate that campaign. I hate it with all my soul. That's so bullshit. I was like killing everything. I'm doing. Oh yes, this is nice. And then you get to Naturalist, and she says, like, "Did you kill some furry?" And she just throws some kind of perfume, and you die. And they're like, "God damn it! I have to wait 50 more minutes just to get some kind of." That was bullshit. I wanted to shoot her in the face.
It's and of course Rockstar also recently was like, well, the trilogy didn't do well. You know what? We don't care about the remaster finally coming to PC that so many people wanted. Who cares? Who cares? We don't need Red Dead Redemption remastered ever coming to PC because the trilogy did so bad. Even though it's our fault, but we're not going to admit it. But that's fine.
We all know that they didn't want to put, because if you play the first one, you know that it's full of, let's just say, bad habits or bad political views, and they will not remake that game. They will try to push like something like a generic Red Dead, woke politics bullshit, something nice.
Oh, I want you to
prefer them to
play.
keep it like that.
They want you to play Saints Row, the new one, like that.
We'll get to that.
Don't get me started on that one.
I did bring some articles with me, Mike. So
okay, thank you, Cash.
Sorry,
Appreciate
man.
it, brother. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on with this article. It says, in a report by Bloomberg, the next installation will feature another playable character, a female. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, oh my gosh, guys. I'm glad I'm sitting down because this is the first time in video game history we've ever had a female character.
Finally.
Oh my
Sexism
gosh.
is solved now. It's all
finally
good.
happened. My God.
Oh, excuse me, Pacific. Are you assuming it's gender?
They're specifying its gender. They're specifying its gender.
Oh my God, we!
Okay, I just have to say one thing. Do you remember what happened to the Uncharted once they tried to push this one? Yeah, I just remember that.
Well, but the thing is, Zan, the legacy was actually still enjoyable. That's it.
Yeah. In comparison, yeah. Let's just be honest.
It's not
but
a bad game. It wasn't a bad game, though.
No,
it wasn't a bad game, but okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, it wasn't a bad game, but the other day we were talking like with some friends, and they say like, "Well, at least you can see a nice ass," and I was like, "Yeah."
I called Uncharted series the God Hates Me series because for just some odd reason, I'm climbing on a cliff. No one can see me, but a tank just happens to burst through the cliff where I'm hanging from. I'm on a train. The train happens to get hit by a freaking asteroid, flung off the side of a cliff, and now I gotta climb. I'm like, dude, this game, God hates me. Why? What did I do?
Because he tried to push, like, if you think about it, Nathan Drake is trying to uncover the things that they should never be uncovered. So yeah, I kind of understand if God doesn't like you.
Okay, fair enough.
But they're Naughty Dog's going in the same direction.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Rockstar. It's not. Who knows what their next game is going to be about? If it's going to be another Uncharted, if it's going to be something else, but.
Yeah, Last of Us Part 3 because we want it.
With Druckmann having
technically, they're gonna make a remake of Last of Us Part 1.
What do you mean they have to make a Last of Us Part 2 before they make a Last of Us Part 3? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're right.
They made the Last of Us Part 2 already, though.
No, that wasn't Part 2. That was like Neil Druckmann fantasy sex life that he wanted to have a sex scene in the middle of the game. So yeah.
Are you guys talking about the Neil Druckmann sex tape? No, I'm talking about the actual.
Oh yeah. You mean that man that they stuck a woman's head on?
When Neil came out the closet.
Mm-hmm. And if you had anything bad to say about that game, then people would start calling you certain names. It's good times.
Let's be honest.
Believe me, there's a couple of dudes I know that are freaking Last of Us stands. Trust me.
And if people like,
I
that
have
game,
friends of mine that actually say that's the best game of their lives. I'm not joking.
If they like that game, that's fine. But it did split the fan base, and it did screw over Joel. So.
I don't understand the mentality of a stand. Because, like, okay, you would think, okay, if you knew me and Pacific's background, you would expect us to be a Star Trek stan. In high school, me and Pacific spent our recesses and hell, even class time. We got in trouble a few times.
I never got in trouble.
Yeah, we remember we were hand drawing our own. We were hand drawing Frontiers, and like, what are you guys doing? You're not paying attention. We had a fan base.
I never got in trouble.
I thought you were going to say we were hand drawing.
Let me phrase that.
Yes, I was thinking the same.
Our teachers would call us out because classes that me and Pacific were in together, especially Mr. Vertulli's class, we would be working on.
You're kidding? Mr. Vertulli's class, I passed the class. I got A's in that class.
We both passed. I'm just saying is he called us out like, "What are you guys doing?" We hand.
No, you know what Mr. Vertulli called me out on? Whenever the Cubs did something stupid the night before. That's what he called me out on.
Okay.
Well, that seems appropriate, though, Mike. Right?
Okay,
because he was a Cub fan like me. So
you don't remember we finished episode 3 or 4, and we had like a group of people around us asking us questions during class.
Yeah, it was before class started. It wasn't during class.
It was before class started, and no one took. They didn't take their seats. They were still asking us. John Rail was one of them, and we were like,
he wasn't in Mr. Vitulli's class.
Who the hell was it? It wasn't.
That was Billy.
No, I don't know. It's the kid. What the heck? I thought
it was Billy Hoskins. You remember?
No. Billy? I'm terrible with names. I don't know. I know it was a big one of our big, chunkier white dudes, but we were writing the episode in the beginning of the class. The class started and we were distracted. And hey, class has started. And we're like, oh shit, okay, because we had a fan base.
We weren't the only ones that had people around our desk. There were other people that had others around the desk.
We had the biggest crowd of nerds, though. Okay, we had the biggest crowd.
Don't over exaggerate.
I'm not. We did. Think about it.
Anyways, getting back to this article. And it says Rockstar's next game, Grand Theft Auto 6, will include a playable female protagonist for the first time. According to people familiar with the game, the woman who is Latina will be one of a pair of leading characters in a story influenced by the bank robbers Bonnie and Clyde.
Wow. Man.
Are you sure it's not Thelma and Louise?
Yeah, right.
She's gonna be a Latina. You know how she's gonna be a Latina. She's gonna be saying "papi" every 5 seconds, and that's it. That's all Latina she's gonna be.
That's
just gonna be a male character who's gonna be, her sidekick. We know. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
and
puppy.
there's gonna be somebody that's gonna go like every 5 seconds.
Latina women are beautiful. They're goddesses.
The article continues by saying after reports of overworking and treating the workplace as a boys' club, Rockstar Games has tried reinventing the working atmosphere into something more progressive and compassionate.
I love the word progressive.
Hold on, who wrote this?
Safe Spaces.
Yep. We're in
All
trouble.
right.
This is the same as saying we're gonna put Snowflake and Safe Space inside our game, and I'm like,
Fandom Wire.
Fandom Wire. I'll post the link.
I just want to figure out who Fandom Wire is owned by.
Rockstar.
Not the Daily
if
Wire.
If it's a guy that wrote this, he tucks it in and dances in front of the mirror like Buffalo Bob in Silence of the Lambs.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
I mean, they are posting the tweets they made, so I was like, oh god, no.
It's probably some woke ass company. Who knows? Ugh.
There's a reality nowadays. They just try to push everything's all right, everything's good. It's like just to get some kind of access eventually. So yeah, they're probably just saying like, "Oh, this is the greatest game of our lives," and you can hear the dick sucking in the background.
That's facts.
Sorry for the.
Hey, bro, you can't speak facts that hard. You might hurt somebody.
But it's always see it some days because I'm like, who in the hell is gonna say like GTA needs more progressive? Have you ever played a GTA game? I'm like, I've been playing it since I was like 10 years old. I think I played it when it was on PlayStation 1. That it was a little dude that it was like farting and burping everyone that is goes like in the middle of the street. And I was like, who the hell cares about progressiveness in this game?
I remember the London one from was PS1. I remember that one. That one was fun as hell too.
Yeah. I remember playing Driver. That was a great game.
Yeah.
Who the hell cares about a like story? And then they made Driver San Francisco Rush, and I was like, who cares? I love Driver because it was a great game, because it was silly, but it had some kind of, you were a driver for people they were stealing from banks and doing all kinds of shit. They were like, this is awesome. And then you just made it about a comatose story about superpowers and what? And that's when Driver actually, the franchise died. So yeah, we know for
that weird mechanic where you just disconnect yourself. I think like, hey, that's what you're playing. Made a good joke out of that.
Guys, it's all a pile of crap used to try to manipulate people through their emotions. Like, think about it with Star Wars and with games, the whole Gamergate thing. They're like, guys don't like women in gaming. I'm like, are you insane? Every heterosexual male's fantasy is a beautiful woman who is a gamer who can have his back and kill half the zombies, babe. I had a hard day at work. I need a beer. And I need you I'm going to kill half the zombies, and I need you to kill half the zombies. That is most heterosexual males' fantasy, is having a beautiful woman who can shoot straight.
Go ahead, Anonymous. Go ahead.
Which is funny. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. I actually had my ex actually play Red Dead Redemption 2, and it was great. But she had only one problem. I have a lot of consoles, and I said like, I give you the PlayStation 4, you play it, then I buy a new PlayStation 4, and we play it together. And she said, like, no, I just like to watch you play. And I was like,
yeah, because it seems like a lot of ladies nowadays don't want, But then again, they sometimes, I guess there are some people out there who see girls who play video games as weird or whatever.
Is anybody in this panel under the age of 35?
I'm 34, so yeah.
28.
Okay. Is everyone on this panel familiar with Resident Evil 3?
Yes, of course. I played it. I can finish it in 1 hour and a half without a memory card.
One of my greatest moments I would ever say. My ex, I came home from work. Resident Evil 3 had just dropped. I got off the ship. I was mad. We were playing Resident Evil 3. I gave her the controller. It was her turn. So then, this is the most adorable / hilarious thing ever. So, remember in like the first stage where you got to run through that restaurant with Nemesis chasing you and you get away?
Yeah.
So she got away. And she's like, ah! And she looked at me, she's like, I got away. And then the Nemesis jumps down from the fucking roof. The most awesome thing, she freaking screamed her ass off. She threw the controller into the air. And it literally, I swear to you, this happened. It landed in my hands because I was sitting right next to her. And I just took off running. She, and it was some shit you expect to see on like The Big Bang Theory. She threw the controller and freaked out. I caught it and I ran away from Nemesis. I was like, I will never forget that gaming moment in my life. That and the first time I played Resident Evil 1, and the dog made me almost pee myself. You all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I had one of those with my brother and I because I was playing Silent Hill 3. Silent Hill 3 at a Saturday in the middle of the rain at 3 a.m. And my brother just got like from this is funny because I was playing and there was the scene from the bathroom. Then you start like seeing the walls bleed and everything. You start to die. And my brother came from his ex-girlfriend house. And he had no better idea than just like hit my window and just call my name, like say, "Hey, Jonah, open me." And I was like, "God damn it, what the hell hell was that? and I grabbed the joystick and I just saw, oh, it's my brother. And I just went, okay, I'm gonna open the door. But I'm not joking about this because it was so funny. Because can you imagine the sound of a window like hitting and saying your name? I was like, oh god damn it. It's 3 a.m. on a Saturday in the middle of the rain. You know how it is. It's like
I peed a little bit. Yeah.
It was funny.
Damn, those were the days, man.
And that was a great game. If any one of you love video games of terror and never played that game, play it. It's a great game, even to this day.
I think it might be safe to assume that this entire panel is both video game, comic book, and potentially anime nerds. So
yeah,
I like this crowd.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm disappointing you greatly because I really don't know very much about anime. I'm a total noob, and I don't really at all either. But I got a feeling I make up. I got a feeling I make up with it on my comic book.
I gotta join another stream. Ciao. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks a lot for stopping by, man.
Thank you, Crit, for stopping by. I'll make sure to get to your article.
Yeah. Congrats on 400 subs, Pacific.
400, I wish.
No.
Wait,
I think you got
that confused, bro. This is the 1 year.
1 year.
Shout out to
1
Paul.
year.
Yeah, congrats.
There's streams going on at the same time.
I gotta go.
Crit, if you know something I don't know, tell me.
He's plotting evil.
But thank you for hopping on, Crit. Really appreciate it.
And I'm following Chris, so I gotta go. Nice seeing you, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you all have a great night.
Bye.
Congratulations on 1 year anniversary.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Really appreciate you coming on, Baron.
You're more than happy to. You take care now.
See
you too, brother.
Baron. Talk to you soon, buddy.
See you, man.
Is that homie? We need to organize a squad, really. We need to do a massive gamer stream where we're getting our butts kicked by Shredder or something. I like these people.
Dude, if you ever want to play, I do streams every now and again. I haven't been doing for 1 month because bullshit. I don't know why StreamYards decided to just give me one entire. I'm not joking about this. Do you remember that I said I don't have any time? Yes, they decided for 1 entire month to not give me any time. Just got time this week. So I'm just gonna start doing streams, and I do it they're random. I'm gonna do one tomorrow about watching. We're gonna watch with Bush McFadden, Top Secret, either Top Secret or Airplane. It's gonna be a watch party about that movie. But if you want to do a game stream, we can do it one on Sunday if you want, and I have no problem. You say one game and one console, I probably have it. So just decide what you want to play. I have no problem.
Mainly me and Pacific, we do either War of Thunder or we do
State of Decay 2.
State of Decay 2,
okay.
But there's another game. It's called Grounded. It's kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and I'm trying to form a four-man
yes,
squad
I have it on the Xbox. It's a great game. Yes. I never play War of Thunder. I never played that one.
Ooh, yeah. War of Thunder is kind of like War of Tanks.
I've seen what the game is. I even know the rumors about a guy that actually said this tank doesn't look like this, and he has this, and this, and he got the entire Russian police force going to his house saying,
no, China. No, a guy got into an argument, and he released.
The information. It was
and another guy released information on the British Challenger 2, and then a third guy release information on the freaking Leclerc. I'm like, are y'all stupid? It's a video game. Don't release classified information over a video game.
But we all know what they did. It's like you see. It's like if they made Gundam real. There's gonna be some guy that's gonna say, "Hey, dude, this Gundam doesn't look real. Here's the entire blueprint. How you do one?" And there's gonna be somebody that's gonna say, "How the hell did you get a blueprint for this?" And
it was like his social credit score just dropped. No, I think his lifespan just dropped.
Yeah.
But anyways, getting back to this article, the rest of the message for this article says that the developers aren't going to make jokes about marginalized groups. I mean, come on, it's GTA. We've all expected to hear things that you hear in the game.
That was
It's
the funny
part of
part.
the game.
That's especially the funny part because I still have to see like a joke against Argentina, like saying they're probably hiding some kind of Nazis or narcs or something like that. We're like, oh, yeah.
So,
I'm sick of this.
I have a
Mark
question
Ruth
actually.
thing.
So,
Yeah.
what is not? Everything is insulting in GTA, is it?
Yeah.
Like, is
Yes,
this the
yes.
entire
Yeah.
premise of the game? I'm like, I don't understand
Yes.
the point. Like, who is
Okay, look,
not marginalized? Everyone's
comedy-
marginalized.
Comedy
that
in
was the funny part.
general, comedy in general is, you could say, insulting, but it's like because you're poking fun at. Usually, the funniest comics, unfortunately, have gone through the most pain and suffering. And if you cannot laugh at yourself, then there is something wrong. Okay, I don't get insulted by like Dave Chappelle. Give it to everyone. Everyone gets it. White people gets it. Black people get it. Everyone gets it because we're all when it comes down to it, we're all human. We all have our quirks. We all have our differences. We're all human. Chill the fuck out.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm not human. I'm Klingon.
You're right,
Don't,
brother.
don't you get it? I'm Klingon.
Pacific, shut your ass up. These humans are not supposed to know that we're here to observe them. Anyways.
Glory to you and your house.
I will also not. I am not human either.
Lick my balls. I mean,
Okay, the funniest thing is I have like
God,
a little
that's my
keychain
ball.
that said exterminate. And
so
the funniest thing is like nowadays you can say like you're a Klingon and then somebody's gonna say, "Oh, that's nice." How your pronouns, and you'll be like, "God damn it!"
okay, Sparks. As you know, whatever. I think Jet Sparks can agree with me. Here's the thing that pisses me off. Okay, the main thing in current politics is everyone's like, "Oh my God, racism is bad." I'm like, okay, I can get on board with that. Being racist is bad, but then they're like, "But screw white men." What,
Dude, I don't
racism is bad.
care about this shit. If you're gonna say everybody's racist, guess what? Everybody's racist. Hell.
Yeah.
No,
China
that
doesn't
no,
like it. China
that
doesn't
pisses
fucking
no,
like any of
that
us.
pisses me off because when I hear that, okay, Pacific has been my friend since high school. Okay,
Exactly.
I know this man would take a freaking bullet for me. I would take
27
one
years,
for-
folks. 27
Yeah.
years.
I would take one.
26 of them.
I would take
That's
one
right
for
for a
him.
Cubs fan. I'm just saying.
So if you come to me and you say, "Fuck Pacific," why? For shit happened 300 years before he was born. I'm gonna tell you to eat a dick and get the fuck out of my office.
I was gonna say,
And not to
27
mention-
years. 27 years to Pacific is like just the Bruce Sutter years.
Oh,
He's not even
it's
phased by
Sparks.
27
Sparks. Tell me if you agree with me on this, okay? I mean,
You're right, Pops.
I personally trust my white homies more than my black homies because my white homies never try to get with my girl. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I've never been in a relationship. I've never dated anyone, so I don't know. That sort of thing. But I know there's a dude I know who, like I said, is probably just as woke as another dude I know who's British, and they're both total assholes and probably actual man children for all I know.
Yeah, I was actually on a stream
Yeah,
today with
it's-
people in India. We were discussing Indian cinema because I've become like an Indian cinema nerd now for some reason. And they were discussing the woke politics in their northern Indian films. It's like it's so insane how viral all of that has gone. It's just
It will. It definitely can. It's like a virus.
Funny enough, they try to
Going.
push the same kind of bullshit here in Argentina, and they're trying to like push a lot of things like that, and they just make like a census of how many people actually like presented themselves as another thing, as no binary or something like that. Only it would be like 0.012% was only binary or something like that. So they just like went back all together about all the kind of bullshit, like gender politics and all of that. And you're like, now you understand why people will say like this is bullshit, right? Because nobody uses it here in this country. So
It's funny too because
you haven't been groomed long enough.
It would be very interesting to see with a lot of the Disney, Warner Brothers. I mean, they're scrapping this because Zaslav wants to make money. But the thing is that I was talking to one of my friends, one of the people who was a friend of mine a while back, and it's like if they did the woke politics, they had like a group for that, a department for that, and then the non-woke politics, and then see what actually makes money. If the stuff that isn't woke makes money, then maybe you should go with that, or just have it all. But they won't do that because to them it's not equal.
Okay, so as kind of like the film critic nonsense that I did for a while, this stuff's always been in existence. It was always like film festival stuff, right? This was always like film festival films.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is now they're applying those messages and themes now in the mainstream stuff. They're just going to go back to the way it was. They'll just be smaller projects and things like that. It'd be easier for us to ignore.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I have a question. How many here are familiar with Yuri Bezmenov?
What?
Who?
Yuri
What? I
Bezmenov.
didn't understand. Sorry again.
Bezmenov, the man who warned how, they try to sneak communism into societies and whatever.
Here and there.
I have no idea who you're talking about. I'm not joking.
Oh snaps! Okay.
One day you'll wake up and you'll.
Yeah,
find
he
you're
put
in
out this film and
communism.
goes, okay, communism will they'll infect the young people and they'll try to divide the nation. They'll divide the nation into oppressors and oppressed. Then they'll try to brainwash the oppressed, who they claim to be oppressed, in order to destabilize the nation and allow communism to invade. He's a ex-Russian KGB agent. He defected to the United States and was like, hey, this is what they're trying to do in your nation. So literally it's media, the media and Hollywood.
Can I be completely honest? DDOD, this is the first time I talk to you, but you know anything about Argentina, but that is happening already for almost 10 years here in my country. I'm not joking.
Oh, yes.
They're divided. They are actually putting all the communist points in it. My president is actually a dictator. He decides what happens, what not. I'm actually paying for every dollar that I spend in every kind of online store or whatever. I have to pay 75 cents to the entire government because they decide this. And I'm not joking about this. If I want to buy something from outside of this country, I have to pay a tax over 100% more of the product that I actually bought. Well, also 75% more for the product that I bought for every dollar I spend, and also $300 of shipping because they decided to buy you can only get the product if you buy it from a special kind of shipping. If you use the free one, you have to wait 3 or 4 months to get here. So yeah, we're actually living in a dictatorship here right now. So especially because I could tell a lot of more stories that I actually have talked about this, but it's even funnier because this day today they decided to put a new economy minister. That was actually we call here a pancake because he changed his size every 1 week. I'm not joking about this. He actually had a tweet that he said this motherfucker president deserves to die, and now he's giving his insanity. He's now economy minister for his own entire country. So yeah.
Oh God. Okay, got you.
So yeah, I live in another third world country. I live in a 7 or 10. I'm actually they're calling here. Arkansas, they're calling it right now. So yeah.
Ooh, and that's the unfortunate problem with, like I said, Pop Talk. It's hey, it's that politics are trying to take over pop culture because that's how you control the masses is to take over the popular culture, which unfortunately is sad. But luckily, we live in a time where, like I said, there is an internet, there's a deep web, there is alternate alt tech, so they can't execute the amount of control. And in America, oh my God, the founding fathers in America, I'm genius that I can't even comprehend because it's like they almost could predict the future. Because I believe that the United States of America is the only nation on the planet that has a freedom of speech amendment and a right to bear arms amendment. I don't think any country that I can find has those two, because without either one, you won't have the other.
Yep.
And the fact that how are they the only ones who have thought about that in that time period? There are multiple other nations, multiple other revolutions that took place around the time the American Revolution took place, but yet they're the ones that we need to have the people always able to debate each other and always able to defend themselves from the government. They even knew no matter how small we tried, how much we try to restrict the government, in the future it might get out of control. How'd they predict that? I don't know. Especially
because
living.
they already saw it. It's like if you were here in Argentina, even when they actually were making like the entire constitution and everything, they were putting like little. I'm not joking about this. They made a like it was called a cabildo abierto, which is like a decision between who's gonna control the country and everything, and they were putting like little red ribbons just to say if you were against or in favor of what they were actually pushing. If you were in favor, you had like the red ribbon. If not, they would shoot you in the face. I'm not joking about this. They actually were like, yes, this was part of the revolution. Yes, this was part of the revolution. If you were with the Spain, they will shoot you in the face and throw your body in the middle of the streets just so everyone can see it, because they wanted to be like, this was like a complete. This is all part of history. They needed to actually like push this because Spain has so much power that a lot of people were still saying like we need to be like in favor of Spain. So they say, okay, you want to be in favor? We're like, okay, come here, boom, done. And you're like, that's it, because they needed this. They needed like the independency after all, because it all started because of a lot of things, but especially between the colonies and everything, because they were spending so much and they decided like this is bullshit. Like you give me like 3 coins for something, like they should give me like 50, and we actually paying for it. It's kind of long, but yeah, it was like that here in Argentina.
No, this is a very informative. Like, I mean, I want more people's voices, such as yourselves, to have platforms and to be able to, to speak of their stories, because it's like, I mean, I'm getting inspired to start a different channel now, because like Pop Talk is like popular culture is literally being driven by current politics. So it's like, how is current politics screwing up and affecting and shaping and moving the popular culture of the day? And we have people from Argentina, people from Venezuela, people from Cuba in America going, no, stop! We came here to get away from that. We can tell you how many of our ancestors, how many of our family members have suffered and died under this shit. We came here to get away from that. Yeah. Stop.
That's the funniest thing, because a lot of people don't believe me when I say this, but this is a reality. A lot of people came from Venezuela to here, and once they started like seeing all the movements that are making this political party are making right here, right now, they say like, oh shit, we're seeing Venezuela too. We're seeing every movement that we saw like 10 years ago when we actually had to leave our country. And people say like, you're bullshitting me. No.
Oh, no. Like the Cuban, like I said, the Cuban, and now I consider you a friend as well. Venezuelan, freaking Argentinian, Cuban, like they're like, no, this is what we went through. And I'm like, why? I'm like, why is no one listening to them? This is the thing that pisses me off. This is the thing that okay. Really irritates me.
Let's be honest, they need to push this, and you know it, and we all know it. We have seen this especially this one. If you see this kind of like forums or something like this, you're seeing it in this image. You see that they are elite. They are over us. They have all the answers and all the questions and everything. And you're like, why do you think you have all the answers if you see your own company being destroyed because of your own choices? And this is the same with countries. You're seeing your own country being destroyed of your own choices because you decided you're better than us.
A government only has the power that the people allow that government to have. Exactly. What gets me is there is a well-known, I'm pretty sure this is a proverb, I don't know, proverb on every nation, just despite your culture or despite your language. History repeats itself. So what gets me, since every freaking culture on earth has that saying, why are we doing the same shit over and over again?
Because we're ignoring history.
Yeah, because there's a little thing called conscience, and sometimes people turn it off just because they try to believe a lot of people up them. Because this is, I'm not joking about this, but this is funny. Every 10 or 15 years we have a disaster of economic disaster, some kind of how's it called? I just forgot the word. The word that the politics don't want to say right now, that you have recession. We have a recession every 10 years. We have a recession here in Argentina. I'm not joking about this. It was in 2001. It was in 2012. It wasn't now. Right now we have a recession because the dollar. I'm not joking about this. It went from $200, 200 pesos, $1 to 300 pesos in 1 week. And tomorrow, today they chose the new economy minister and everything. Like he's gonna be like the new one and everything. Tomorrow it's gonna be like 400. I'm not joking. We know it because this is what happens when they just put a lot of. They say they put a lot of their eggs, all the eggs on one basket, and don't understand about what they're doing. This is gonna happen right now, and a lot of people like say, "Oh no, you're just like you're crazy. You don't understand." I'm like, "No, I know this because I've seen it on Venezuela happening the same shit." And I'm not Venezuelan. I've talked to people from there, and they tell me like, "Yes, this is what's gonna happen." And they just like when there's 10 steps, and they are making like they're on like the fourth or the fifth step. The fourth was the pandemic. It was necessary, so they actually every country actually. Uses this to actually push some kind of agenda or something. And the fifth part is like you're in the wrong and we are gonna choose for you. And the sixth one is the funniest because I don't want to go this place. And let's just talk about this because we're gonna
that's
go.
right. Let's go ahead and talk about this article.
About politics. Let's
Can
find out what Disney
I ask you
thinks about
one? Can I ask you
politics.
one question?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So in the country, do you guys have like some type of constitution or Bill of Rights or whatnot, or like
We have a constitution, but it's like I'm not joking about this. The constitution actually defends more the thieves and the victims. I've seen cops killing killing a thief, and they actually got like suspended and without any kind of job, and some even go to prison. So yeah, we actually have really bad.
So right now, I'm thinking that we're going to be kind of protected because of one, the First Amendment, and two, the Second Amendment, and multiple countries, like especially in World War II, Germany and Japan did not want to invade America because like they all have guns, they can all defend themselves. Even the current conflict in the Ukraine, when they had an anti-gun policy, now they're like, oh my God, let's give all the civilians guns now. But it's like it's not as effective. America, like our whole culture is the culture of guns. Like a lot of people, they get raised being taught gun usage, gun safety. So if all of a sudden we get attacked,
Dude, I gotta be completely honest. I have a friend of mine that is actually a policeman, and once, more than once, I actually asked like him pointers, things. He actually gave me his gun. He let me try it. He let me. We actually went to the here it's called Pentagon. I don't know how it's called. Shooting range. There we have it. It's called shooting range. Yeah, we went there. He actually explained to me everything. So I understand how a gun works. That's the problem. Because I said once and I said again, I don't have one. But if I have the opportunity to actually take it from the thief's hands, that is kind of impossible. But I know it can happen. I know how to point it into the face of one and shoot him. But that's a thing that a lot of people we know. But anyway,
the question I want to ask you is because right now I think America's safer because of the First and Second Amendment. So is there an
you're never safe. No.
Hold on.
This is sorry.
Wait.
Go ahead, Sans Zoltan. Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm thinking we're safe. Was there an equivalent?
Sans Zoltan's turn. It's Sans Zoltan's turn. Let him go.
I didn't get to finish asking the question. Okay. So I think America, we're safe because we have a First and Second Amendment. Was there an equivalent of a First and Second Amendment in your country that got taken away, or was there never a First or Second Amendment in your country to get taken away?
There's a First and Second Amendment in some place because we actually can own guns and it can be registered and everything. We can own guns. There's not a culture of owning guns. That's the thing. That's the problem. If you want to buy
it locally or was it in your nation's
it's like this. Imagine like this. This is a funny thing. If you want to buy a gun in your country, you can buy it for how much? Tell me a price. How much does like $500? Yes, here in Argentina it's around. I'm not joking about this. It's around $400 plus the taxes plus everything. Is like $1,000 to buy one gun. So that's the problem, and you actually have to go through a physical and mentally and everything, and you have to do all the paperwork and everything. And it's like, I'm not joking about it. It's like around. My friend told me like if you want to buy a shotgun, it's like around $800 plus everything. And he said like a handgun is like $700 plus everything, so it's 1,000. And I was like, okay, you know how much we win 1 month? A salary, $600, $500 sometimes, and the minimum wage is $300 a month. So you actually have to spend around 4 months' salary for owning one gun.
Damn.
So it's kind of impossible to actually own a gun if
And
you
that's
don't
what they want to do
invest
to
in
us
it.
here.
Yes,
They want to skirt around the Second Amendment in our country by taxing the ever loving crap out of everything, regulating who can own one through red flag laws, take them away. They want to be able to sue the gun manufacturers for gun crimes, and
which is complete bullshit.
Yeah, they want to regulate us out of our weapons. So
And that's the funniest thing, because you said something that is funny, because I saw the New York one that if you have a bad Twitter account of 3 years that it doesn't go with the mentally bullshit narrative that we have, you can own a gun. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Texas, buy a gun, come back, and then shoot you in the face. And I was like, that's the funniest thing, because how can you go so stupid to say like you need to? I will, in the exact same they said that bullshit. I will delete my Twitter completely. I will delete I will delete everything, and I'll be like, "Fuck you."
Well, it's
you want to
still-
find
the
me?
internet-
I'm
internet
gonna
never
ask for a
forget-
gun for 3 months from here when the entire system is destroyed, and
In
you
your
can
country,
never find
are there different states? Is there a difference
Yes,
between
we
like a
have-
state and federal, or is it the federal has just say over everything?
There's a federal kind of crime, like we have state over state, like some kind of laws and everything, but it doesn't change a lot like in your country. They don't have like a state over state. Here are called provinces, so they actually own like an entire commune. And I live right now in Buenos Aires, which is the capital in between quotes of the country. So. That's it. That's the thing. If you go to like another province, sometimes you can buy a gun because they have different kind of laws, or it's even cheaper. So, for example, in Tucumán, which is another province, the food, the transport, everything is cheaper because they have the different kind of salary, a different kind of way of living, and everything. Even the rent is different. But I know that owning a handgun is the biggest problem. Is the taxes. The taxes are federal, so no matter how much perhaps a handgun instead of 700 is 300, but you have the taxes, and taxes are not 300, so it's 600. It's less than buying it here, a lot less, but you still own a lot less of salary because instead of $400 as a salary, you have 200. So that's the problem. There's never an equivalency to actually, like, for example, I'm going to give you a sample so stupid, so simple. If you want to buy a refrigerator here is actually, honest to God, nowadays, half of my salary if I want to buy one. So if you want to buy it between different payments, it's like you will pay it for 6 or 12 months. And those 12 months is like there's going to be a recession, there's going to be inflation, there's going to be, and you eventually at the end of the year you're going to be paying, like, I'm not joking, like $10 a month for that refrigerator, when it costs you, like, if you pay it once in one payment, you will pay it for like $600, and this is the same. But the problem is you cannot buy a gun in payments. You actually have to pay completely. You cannot buy it in payments. So that's the problem. You actually have to either like save or buy it completely, or get like a loan or something. So that's the only rule that they have, because they need to actually there was a place that actually set on payments, and they got into problems because they say like, no, you cannot buy sell a handgun in payments because that's bullshit. Because people are not gonna pay you like month after month for a gun because there was a little bit of a debacle, and they actually like closed the place and they never could sell it again. But here is funny because there's a little thing called if they make a law, we know how to echa la ley, echa la trampa, which will mean like if they make a law, we know how to make a trap, how to cheat. And what do I mean with this? For example, they started like saying they're not gonna sell any kind of airplane ticket in payments for like 3 months. So they just made, I'm not joking about this, in our like eBay from Argentina, they put like, buy a little box of pens for 150,000 pesos, and you get 2 free tickets to a Disney World. And they were like, I'm not joking. You can gift it because technically you're buying for 150,000 pesos, like it will be like $1,000, a box of pens, and they give you as a gift 2 tickets to Disney World. So you're paying for the Disney World tickets, but technically you're buying the pens, and it's legal because technically you're buying the box of pens, and the other part is a gift. Okay. So they actually can gift you that, and they actually bypass that with that stupid shit for almost like 2 months, before people like was like the government say like, what the hell are you doing? And it's like you don't let
Nothing. We're doing absolutely nothing.
And they actually got like for like 2 or 3 months before like the government realized this, and they sold a lot of tickets like that, like trips
He
to
likes
Brazil.
to draw things. Stop asking. He likes to draw.
He loves to draw. These pens are the best of the best.
He makes portraits for people.
And I'm not joking. This was made for real because it was so funny. Because we know that sometimes you actually have to bypass this. And I don't remember which one was the other day that I actually saw that there was a taxation over a lottery ticket or something like that they like take $800-900 million because of a tax. And it reminded me of a boxer that actually went to your country, won a tournament, won like $1 million, and a lot of the government say like, once you get to our country you have to pay like the half of it because of taxes and this and that. And he said like, no, I'm gonna stay here in America. I'm gonna normalize this as a normal USA citizen.
That checks out.
The entire government said like, what? He said like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a house here. I'm gonna stay here with my relatives that I have here, and then I'm gonna normalize as a USA citizen. I prefer to pay to the USA my taxes. And fuck you. He never came back. And I was like, that was awesome because here's the funny thing: you pay like 30% of taxes over $1 million. Here in Argentina, you actually for that $1 million you actually have to pay 60. So
in Argentina is the I don't know if you guys have a version of Hollywood. Is Hollywood being weaponized against the people like it is being here?
Oh yes, and we have celebrities. It's not Hollywood, but we have celebrities that are actually like trying to push. One of the things that today I actually saw in a program TV, and it's so funny. They actually were trying to push like infidelity is okay. You can have all the people that you want that you can have sex with, and there's no problem. And infidelity is normalized nowadays. I'm not joking. And the guy was like, he had a girlfriend. He went completely untruthful to her girlfriend. And he went with another woman, and then with another. It was like, oh, it's okay. Here it's normal. Like it. And it was like, all of you people are bastards. Because if you have right now, if you have a husband or a wife, you're just telling them, you're saying like, I actually, sorry for the word, but I fuck another person, and I don't care. And I'm like, do you even listen to yourselves? Oh, sorry. Once again, they call DDOD. Okay, tomorrow we're gonna make a special stream. I'm gonna invite you. We're gonna talk about all the bullshit that you want because this has been like completely go. My program is called Thinking Outside the Box. So imagine that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I want to hear like other people's experiences, like because like I'm thinking because right now I don't want to be sitting here thinking, oh, we have a First and Second Amendment, we're safe. So it's like if other people are like, no, in my country we had that too, and that didn't work. I'm like, oh, I would like to know what happened.
All right, I'm getting the hint. Let's go ahead and move on to this article.
Yeah. I'm down. Grab my information. Pacific, give me my information. I am totally down to be a part of that.
Put it in the private chat. Exchange information in the private chat.
Roger Dizzle. Damn, I love that talk. Oh man, I got so much good information. Okay,
Pops even left, and we didn't even realize it.
Yeah, let's get to
I realized it. I already sent a message to him.
Yeah, I just saw it. Sorry.
That's all right. So our next article comes from That Park Place, and it's actually by someone who some of us are actually familiar with because we've heard the name before. It's written by WDW Pro.
Oh,
and
yeah, nice.
It says it has been a long time coming, but it seems that finally the Walt Disney Company is going to exit politics and ideology. CEO Bob Chapek has something to say, and the author of the article is thinking about Renegade and Cameron Pasha. I'm sure those of us on the panel are familiar with those names. If you
love that man,
subscribe to Valiant Renegade or Cameron Pasha.
I'm from Valiant Renegade, but Cameron Pasha, I have no idea.
All right. So it says it is being reported by Hollywood screenwriter and scooper Cameron Pasha that the Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Chapek spoke with Kareem Daniel, and that person is the chairperson of Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution at El Capitan in front of an audience on Thursday. At the gathering, Bob Chapek declared, for the first time publicly that the Walt Disney Company will exit politics and ideology going forward. This seems to corroborate reports from this website that JPEG and the board of directors plan to alter company policy in the next 12 months. Goes on to say the Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Chapek and chairman of Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution Kareem Daniel have been together in France over the past week, according to sources and photographic evidence. Daniel is often seen as a Chapek guy from those who study the Disney Company, and sources from this website say that Chapek and Daniel have been meeting away from Burbank about the future of Disney's entertainment slate. Specifically, I am told that Chapek and Daniel have been privately setting forth a plan for how to manage the various studios and their content, which is difficult to censor, but also decidedly harmful to Disney's bottom line. So what did Bob Chapek say at the public gathering on Thursday? According to Mr. Pasha on his Patreon, and the link is in this article, so you can link to it in the article. It says, when people come to a Disney park, they don't walk in with their political views on their sleeves. People don't come to Disney to get political points of view, either from the left or the right. Disney is a source of positivity in the world, no matter your sex, race, or politics. That's a core focus for me. You know, the mainstream media will tell you that you can't do that job, but I never listen to them. And that's a quote from Bob Chapek. DM'd Town Hall with Bob Chapek and Kareem Daniel at El Capitan Theater. There's a pic there. I'm not going to take a look at it. It says, it is understandable why some have said that Disney will never moderate and that the company will just keep pushing farther and farther into leftism, socialism, tribalism, and segregation. As much as I can see that point of view, and I know where it's coming from, I do believe that important signs point towards Chapek and the board reversing course. This is perhaps the strongest indicator yet. It's a big deal. This is a breaking story. As more sources and more information come forward, we'll continue to cover this topic. WW Pro will appear later today with Cameron Pasha and Valiant Renegade on a live stream. And I'll go ahead and post a link to that live stream in case anybody wishes to hear what was said.
Yeah, why not?
Right?
Believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
12 months,
Yeah.
they say. Well, obviously, it hasn't filtered down to anything they've done so far, right? So,
right.
Yeah, they're not. I don't really believe him. I mean, yeah, he might say this now to maybe garner some favor, maybe, but
yeah, what?
really
But again, but Chapek has also said in like Disney investor calls that he actually congratulated Kathleen Kennedy, and of course, we already know if she gets forced out, she's gonna. She even said she might just straight up burn all of Disney to the ground before she. And she said was gonna leave when she's good and ready to leave, when she's done her job and spread the message. And she probably won't rest until the message is beaten into everyone's head.
They won't force her out. She won't be forced to do anything. She'll stay, and they'll put up some sort of front. I guarantee you, they'll either figure out a way to tamper down on the politics and their stuff to where they think they can do it better than what they have been. Because I mean, seriously, they've been hitting us over the face with a baseball bat for the past several years. So
let's look at this from a perspective. So she has on blatantly said, "Oh, if I don't get my way, I'm going to burn everything down," right? And they're still allowing her to exist within that organization. I'm just saying, I'm sensing some Kamala Harris vibes, because unless she has some, how do I say
if
this?
she has dirt on
Hashtag
somebody
Me Too
or
on
somebody's,
she wouldn't be around. She's got to have some serious dirt on someone for her to not have been ejected because she's literally burning it to the ground in front of everyone. That's my question.
They're no better. I mean, the Chapek and the rest of them are no better. Are they?
Why do you think I said? What does she have on Chapek and Iger? Because this is some Kamala Harris. This is some Kamala Harris levels of incompetence that I'm.
The reason, I mean, her staying is obviously, some backroom deal thing going on, but Chapek wouldn't have got out there and sat in front of a camera and did his little hostage video. If he didn't I'm not saying he had somebody had something over him, but I know he's bought into this crap, and he allowed this culture, him and Iger allowed this freaking culture to dominate.
Here's the thing. Iger literally is a financial man, and he has gone on record multiple times saying, keep politics out of our shit. Multiple times. So I'm like, okay, a man who has repeatedly said that all of a sudden is bending the knee. I have questions on that. Like, because it makes sense as a businessman. It's like, don't be political because you don't want to alienate 50 or more, potentially 50% of your audience. And he even said that before shit got this bad. Thus, having me going, who has dirt on who? Because Kennedy must have dirt on someone who's of higher rank than Iger.
Everyone has dirt on everyone in Hollywood. We know it. They know it. Especially between celebrities, elites, and politicians and everything. Because as you know it, even in the back old days, do you remember that little story about a Freddie Mercury was on Elton John party? They actually have midgets and cocaine and everything. It was like a big round party, everyone knew everyone, and it was okay, everything is valid here. So you kind of understand that if this was one of the only parties they actually talk about it and everything, for a fact they know a little bit about the dirts inside their nails, something like that on their nails. And between those kind of things, even if it is something so simple as say you once dated a minor, and you're and that's a little thing, a stupid thing and everything, because they can say whatever they want, and no people. It's like they can not only control the entire system, but they control the messaging and the media and everything. So when they try to push this, and as a lot of people say, and I kind of understand it, they try to revert some kind of disaster they actually made in their youth or whatever. And they try to push this because they think that this is the way to go to get money or to get better in the eyes of somebody. We don't know who it is. That's the thing. Because up to this day, I still think that it's stupid and everything. A lot of people tell me yeah, it's stupid. But I'm like, I kind of believe that could happen. Have you ever seen Kingsman 1? Do you remember the entire story? They were making a special chip to actually make everyone kill everyone. Yes, and they actually wanted to stay in a place of elite, and only elite got there, and nobody was gonna touch them and everything. Yeah, we're actually gonna see that happen. I'm seeing it every day. I'm eventually there's gonna happen something like that, free Wi-Fi for everyone, and I'm and this is stupid, but it could happen. And up to this day, I don't believe any kind of word that they say we're gonna change our ways or something like that. I'm yeah, sure, show me.
I agree.
Show me that what you say is real, because that's just words eventually. So I don't.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Why is it going to take?
Very much so.
I understand that they're ingrained with the woke culture in their business. They got mountains of people in there that will just raise, holy hell, trying to turn the other way. Well, it could take 12 months. He may have to do a lot of firing to turn that company around, because they won't go quietly.
It may take 12 months initially, but we don't know what kind of damage will be done while that's going on.
Oh, it'll hurt.
It could be years. It could be years before we actually
I'm not
see
talking about that. I'm not talking about this. It could be done in one night. It could be done completely in one night.
It could.
Yeah.
You know how? You just go there like this. You just go.
Not
No,
a company
you just
like
go like
Disney.
this.
It's too
Everyone
big.
wants to. No. I'm not joking. You go like everyone wants to push this bullshit of woke. You get out. I'm not joking. You're gonna get fired completely.
They
in a
will
second.
get. That's the problem.
Okay.
Then they will get
problem-
out,
the
and
problem
they
is-
will. They'll take the company. You can't just
Problem's
throw
gonna
away
help
your
her.
entire labor force and expect to stay afloat.
Yeah, and the labor force, each one of them, especially the woke ones, can then go, oh, you fired me because I'm LGBTQ WXYZ. So therefore, each one of them will file a lawsuit. So you'll be spending possibly billions of dollars over years defending against those lawsuits.
Your stock will drop to a
they should have let them in the first place. So yes, you'll be fighting literally. It will be the fall of Rome.
Yeah,
I don't know what Iger's plan is because it will. You can't purge them now because if you purge them, they're gonna go. You're purging me. You're discriminating. They'll be hit with untold.
Okay, can you tell me what? Can you tell me that happened with Netflix or not? Because Netflix is doing it.
Netflix isn't the size of Disney.
Netflix is doing it little by little. They can actually do it little by little. Like if you start the one bullshit, you're gonna get fired.
Warner right now.
Okay, Netflix.
They are quitting Netflix. Netflix isn't just firing everybody.
Let me chime in. Netflix is smart because Netflix is firing the people associated with shows they cancel. Disney can't necessarily do that. Disney can't be like, oh, all of Marvel's fired. All of because
you start with the showrunners, and then you start with the people that actually writing the scripts, and then you go for step by step.
No, wait, you didn't hear me. So Netflix has a bunch of shows. Okay, they go, oh, Bob's Apples. That team is woke. They can fire Bob's Apples. Disney can't fire all of Marvel. They can't fire all of Pixar. Because there's too many people involved. It's too deep. It's too ingrained. They can't just clean house. Netflix can go, oh, Netflix. Okay, so Netflix. Say Netflix has 1,000 shows. 100 of them are woke. Those 100 shows have low viewership. They go, oh, your shows have super low viewers. We're canceling your show. With Disney, they have
Netflix shows are produced by different companies.
Exactly.
They buy the shows.
And Star Wars is it's like a city, not a city, like a nation. Marvel's a nation, so you can't de-wokeify that as easy as you could from Netflix. You could individually pick woke Netflix shows and go, your viewership is down by what? How many?
Actually, you can you can do that because if you grab the original comics and you go like, we need to do this, and they say like, yeah, we had to have like a female. No, you do this, or you get the boot. You do this, and it's like, we're not gonna do it. Okay, then I'm gonna find somebody new that can actually do this.
This was a rebuttal towards your statement that yes, they could get rid of them all in one day.
Yeah. I can understand it. Like in one night,
100,000 employees and multiple franchises obliterated in one night. You can't feasibly do that.
Yes, if you actually show them that they're actually losing money, and they're going to lose the bonuses and everything.
You would destroy the company.
Like I said, the size of the company.
Yes, I understand that it's way bigger.
Yeah.
But if you think about it for 1 second,
and the size not only the size of the company, the size of the franchise.
I know it's kind of hard and it is everything, but
it's impossible.
It's funny because I say there's a point of. Have you ever heard the tale of the hanging rope in a city? I can't remember the city exactly. They actually one minister actually released that they were actually using a new monument to show the hanging rope, and everyone was scared because they didn't know if they were going to use it or not. This is the same. You can actually put that little scare of the people who actually woke and say like, if you keep on doing this bullshit, you're gonna get the boot. Eventually, everybody's gonna understand that you cannot put that kind of woke politics, and you actually have to learn.
I do. This is okay. Yes.
Yes. I can understand that in one night it's impossible to actually boot everyone, but
right now, America, the current state of America is victim woke victimness. So making that kind of threat will mean you will get sued out of your freaking mind. Lawsuits after it's a different system here. That's it's irritating.
Well,
but no,
I think he's using that as a metaphor, though. It's not.
I can understand it
metaphorically. They could pull the discriminatory card and all sue. It's. I wish it was that simple. You know what? You're all fired because you're all fired.
Here in Argentina, they actually can do that. They actually fire everyone.
Hold, wait.
Yeah, exactly.
It won't stand.
Yeah, they'll get sued in oblivion. They'll spend countless millions, possibly billions of dollars in legal fees. It would just be like getting rid of them. It would have to be a very you can't fire them. What you have to do is you got to hire people that aren't them, and you got to then promote them and then give them the resources to slowly edge them out. You can't just
replace them.
You have to create a new culture to drive them out. I don't want to work here. You guys are too racist and Trumpian. So
you got to do what Kathleen Kennedy did.
they put Trump as a president of Disney. That's it. That's one move and done.
If they did that, a lot of people would just leave.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if Elon Musk buys Twitter. Oh, we're all quitting. Good.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye. It will be funny. Like, we're gonna use the new vice president of Disney, Trump, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Or Elon Musk. Oh God, no! But you can't just
Trump president, Elon Musk vice president. There we have it. It's like, okay,
say, you're fired because you're woke. That would, like I said, that would.
Yeah, I can understand that. I was
Go ahead, Cash.
Even though it's fun to troll Twitter and these other companies, these other platforms, I really was hoping that Elon Musk was going to buy Twitter. I'm like, oh, maybe then the platform will be worth more, because the only good thing really about Twitter, two things, of course, you can advertise your stuff, which can sometimes help, and then you have friends there and you can build groups, and that's pretty cool. But
you do that in Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. You can't. I don't like Facebook.
Yeah,
Twitter
I'm getting
Facebook are a toss-up.
Okay.
It's a toss-up. But
here's the 5D chess with Twitter. Elon Musk proved that the vast majority of Twitter accounts are bots run by the deep state and corporations. They're literally showing multiple people posting the exact same comment, letter by letter, punctuation by punctuation, exactly. So it's like Twitter is literally just a bot army that whoever has enough money can use that bot army to attack. Elon Musk's actions expose that.
Not only that, if you are going to pay that kind of money, you actually have to, like, there's a thing that I can understand why Elon Musk decided to not go with the buy-in, and I can understand it completely, because if you buy a new company and they say, like, to you, we're not going to show you the numbers, we're not going to show you the entire physical, like, properties of our company, because that's the reality, it's the properties, and you have to buy anyway, I'll be like, no, I'm not going to give you my money if you don't show me what it's like.
If I'm a potential buyer, if I'm a potential buyer of a product, I want to see the records. I want to see everything associated with that company before I buy it.
Let's do something simple. You're going to buy a computer. You're going to be like, I'm going to buy this computer without seeing the entire completely.
Elon Musk never actually intended on buying Twitter. If you go through his past tweets, he's always said, I think Twitter's full of bots.
Yes, it's probably
all bullshit. Wait. Hold on, wait. He said you could go back. You can rabbit hole. Like you can have the little yarn strings to all like you're a detective. He's always said this. I think they're bots. I'm pretty sure the bots. He buys the company. He offers them more money than they're worth to force the board of directors to go, we want money. So, I mean, not the board of directors, the investors go, we want money. Board of directors, you better fucking sell because we own you. We want more money on our investment. The board of directors is like, fuck. Then Elon Musk's like, okay, I want to see the records. And they're like, no, because he knows under the agreement he signed, only 5% are bots. So therefore, I'm buying your company underneath the terms that only 5% of your accounts are bots at this higher price. The stock goes up because Elon Musk is going to take it. Then Elon Musk goes, with the information they're forced. Okay, they're still not giving him the information. So he goes, okay, I'm going to pull out of the deal now. So in order for them to take him to court and sue him for backing out of the deal, they will have to actually release the real data. Elon Musk,
which they're not doing.
Yes, he 5D'd USS Enterprise chest their asses. which is I watched this whole process going, this man is fucking brilliant.
All right, let's
Twitter
go ahead
is
and move
just-
on to this article from The Verge.
Yes. Keep watching and get your popcorn, boys.
Chaos, I have to ask you, man, how many Red Bulls did you have today? Like, seriously.
He doesn't need Red Bulls. This is all natural, Cash.
You need the Valium, though.
You can see me when I'm streaming. Shit. The dinosaurs are trying to eat my face.
I've been there. Okay, I'm gonna be
terrified.
Okay, this is the funniest thing because we all know what happened and everything, that the movements and everything, but I kind of understand them if you decide to say no, like fuck you, because eventually it's like I said before, if you're buying a computer, you want to see the specs inside.
You're
not gonna buy a computer with
If I'm buying a used car, I want to
Yeah, the
see
same.
the accident records of that car.
You want to see the mileage, everything. It's like normal. But I understand it. I understand it that this could be a complete movement of a 4D chess movement or whatever.
Hold up. Hey, so Pacific can move on. This was all a trap. A very brilliant trap. It was a trap. Clap your hands at his brilliance. It was a trap. So Pacific, your next topic, please.
The next topic here comes from The Verge. It's courtesy of Cash. This is the article he selected. It says U.S. gamers are spending a lot less on video games now than they did in 2021. The video game industry growth has slowed down.
Because there's no games.
This is just my opinion, but this is what happens when you make remaster after remaster after remaster.
Ooh, actually, false.
A bad remaster. Because I was going to buy Chrono Cross and it was bullshit.
There's no mainstream games, but there's still a flood of indies.
Yeah, I mean, look at games like Splitgate. Trust me, anyone who's watching it, play the game. You love classic arena style Halo type shooters. Splitgate's right up your alley. Trust me.
Have you guys heard of
Can
Scum?
you write it in the chat, please?
Have you guys heard of the game called Scum?
No.
Oh god, that game's freaking amazing. It's gearing up to be the best open world survival game ever made.
Oh, it's quite cheap here in Argentina.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see, we're getting a little wrong about everything we've talked about tonight. You see, George had a vision.
Oh, what was that vision? What was it?
And it's not the vision that he sees now from Disney. But anyways, get back to this article from The Verge.
Proud of that.
U.S. consumer spending on video game products has fallen by 1.78 billion in quarter 2, according to market research firm MPD. Overall,
$1.7 million.
1.78 billion. Not million, billion.
Mini-me, what does that mean?
Oh boy.
Overall
That's
spending
a lot of nuts.
$1 billion.
Oh god, what have I done? Okay, sorry.
Overall, spending in video gaming in the U.S. totaled $12.35 billion in the recent quarter, down 13% year over year. The findings follow both Microsoft and Sony reporting revenue declines in gaming as the pandemic growth slows. Sony warned of a weaker PlayStation business earlier this week as it saw game software sales plummet 26% year over year. Sony blamed the slump on a lack of big PlayStation titles this year compared to 2021, and less time spent playing games in general. Microsoft's Xbox hardware revenue dipped 11% year over year in its recent quarter, alongside a 6% drop in Xbox content and services revenue and 7% decline in overall gaming revenue. Nintendo is due to report its fiscal first quarter earnings on Wednesday, but the company forecast earlier this year that it expects to sell 21 million Switch consoles for its fiscal year that ended in March, down from 23.1 million the previous year. Overall, While overall spending on gaming has clearly declined across the industry in quarter two, subscription content was the only segment to post positive gains, according to NPD. The growth is despite Sony launching its revamped PlayStation Plus subscriptions at the end of the quarter.
That bullshit.
Hardware unit sales were led by Nintendo Switch in the second quarter, according to NPD, with the PS5 generating the highest dollar sales. Despite the declines in spending amid high rates of inflation and following a big period of growth, consumer spending continues to trend above pre-pandemic levels, says Matt Pisket. I can't even say it. I'm not even going to try.
Matt
Games industry.
Piscatella.
Thank you. Games industry analyst at NPD, however unpredictable and quickly changing conditions may continue to impact the market in unexpected ways in the coming quarters. Well, again, like I said, and we've all seen it. Hey, guess what? We're gonna make a remaster of Ghostbusters or Saints Row. We're gonna make a remaster of Saints Row that nobody asked for.
We are living in the age of R's.
It's,
Reboots, remakes, and remasters.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's not. Then these games don't go on that long. Then you have on top of it, if you buy these games at launch, they're like $70. There's not even enough content worth. There's not enough content in there.
Less
You
and
have to fight
charging you
the
more.
price. And they just. There's certain games. I mean, what to me, and I'm sure Mike would agree with this. One of the best games is just nostalgia. Like that Turtles game is a lot of fun. I would say that was worth the price, and it's a fun game. Now, Konami, because the only thing really Konami does anymore is bring back collections because they don't want to make games, or they just pass it on to some other developer.
Well, Konami's more focused on pachinko games in Japan now.
They could do a new Rocket Knight Adventures, and they don't do it.
Not even know.
I would, gosh, I would tell people like, what is the point of owning a PS5? Like, yeah, it can be nice, but you can find some third-party games, but there's not much. There's still, by at least a few years, for example, with the PS4, there was enough games to justify the price.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the
PS5
PlayStation 4 for the Persona 5 and the Spider-Man game. At
Yep.
least you had something.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, it was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, and
then
then
I'm glad I got to see it. It's like, wow.
I'm gonna buy that on Steam. So damn.
Yeah,
you can get it now on Steam. Yeah, now you can.
With Sony, with Microsoft, there's just, where is the excitement? And even if you go back to E3, some of these other conventions, even the PC gaming stuff, where is the excitement? Yeah, there's a lot of space games and there's a lot of, but where are the big companies? Where you usually just see them with the console. Well, fine, but
yeah, now they don't have, like, Ubisoft and them don't do their conference, don't have their annual conference anymore. Hell, they just do everything online.
Okay. But guys, I have a question. Nowadays, what's the benefit of console?
It was exclusives, but
in my case, it's portable. Like, I love my Switch because of that.
Yeah.
Because, for example, I bought the Hakusho and I love that game. And I love the fact that I live in Argentina. Here in Argentina, electric outages are like common sense here. Sometimes you'll be like, "Oh, play it again," and you're like, "Oh, God damn it!" So it's kind of useful to actually have something that it keeps on running even if the electricity goes out.
I apologize. That was a trap. So Steam has this freaking thing that looks like a PSP, a big whatever.
Steam Deck,
the Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's a portable version of your Steam library that you can take with you wherever the hell you want to go. Like, what is the point of PlayStation or Xbox? Right? The only thing is exclusives.
Yeah.
What are the negatives? One, exclusivity is actually a negative, and two, the fact that both of those companies force you to double pay for your own internet.
Essentially,
no,
yeah,
Xbox technically here in Argentina is even cheaper. So I don't have a
Yeah,
problem.
and,
The problem
that's
is
kind
Sunny.
of what I can go
That's-
for because like PC, I mean, all the parts now they are expensive. Heck, a GPU is over $1,000 at least for a base GPU.
Yeah, here in Argentina it's over like $2,000, $3,000. A normal like graphic
So,
card.
my PC probably would be worth $2,500, but I waited until Black Friday and went on a website and bought everything and spent maybe $1,200. The point of the matter is that was years ago. I am still playing all of those games. Back in the day, okay, I'm old school. I had an Atari 2600 and a Commodore 64. For a while, I was a soldier of Nintendo. I had the first Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64. After 64, I kind of got sick of it because then Sony came out with the PS1. And it's like, oh, with a disc, and you have like movies in your games. Like, that's cool. And then PS2 came and go, oh, guess what? You can play your PS2 and your PS1 games. And then PS3 was like, you can play your PS3, 2 and 1 games. And I was like, that's awesome. Then I said, because I said I was a soldier of the Nintendo versus Genesis era. And then when it was Nintendo versus Sony, I was like, no, I went over to Sony. And then it was Sony versus Xbox. I stayed Sony because Xbox is like, well, we have CDs too. But Xbox is like, well, you also got to pay us extra to use internet you're already paying for. And PlayStation's like, no, that's just free. And I'm like, ha! Then PS3, same thing. Xbox, whatever. Oh, yeah, you still got to pay for internet. PS2, 3 is like, no, internet's free. I fell off when PS4 was like, oh, well, we're greedy, so now you got to pay for internet that you're already paying for, just like Xbox. So the things that you were using to fight Xbox, oh, you got to do this. Like in Xbox, when you had to buy a remote, you had to buy an adapter, you had to buy all this extra shit to play online with Xbox that you got back for free on PlayStation.
Yeah, I know. My dad was that type of person. He at the time, I really think he was like a Microsoft shill because he got the original Xbox, which I did love. But yeah, he got the 360. He got an intercooler. He got the wireless adapter thingy for it. He even got that HD DVD player.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, you have to pay us the equivalent of of $60 a year to use internet that you're already probably paying $100 or more a month for to have good streaming in your video.
Did I got cut off or something? I cannot hear anyone.
Huh?
I can hear you.
We hear you.
I can hear you.
It is me.
So the thing was, I fell off when Sony got as greedy as Microsoft did. I walked away. I was like, no, I'm done. So you can get, you have more games online through Steam. You have GOG, hell, even Epic if you want all your, whatever. If you want to, go that route. But
our information's already out there.
Well, yeah, I know, but like, just be supporting them directly, knowing you're supporting them. But it's like, I don't. The console is like the exclusives they get do not match the overwhelming tidal wave of titles you get on the PC. And yes, the initial investment of a PC may be more costly than a console, but that will last you far more years and through generations.
And that I understand though, and I would like to get into it at some point. But the only type of like system I want to get in the future is the Switch. But after that, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm just gonna get PC afterward.
Oh, and not to mention, you poor Sony PlayStation bastards, which is why I don't buy any like certain titles that I do not buy on play. I'll buy fighting games on PlayStation, but not like anything else because PlayStation, no, you can't mod, no mods.
Well, it's not just that; it's the fact
or
that,
very restrictive mods. I mean,
the new GT game comes out and it has an always online connection. None of them had that before, and it's just a way for Microsoft to say, "Hey, we're going to do microtransactions." Like, screw you guys! Like, we're paying the money for the game, and it's over $70 if you buy it launch, or you wait, get it cheaper, and then microtransactions in a freaking GT game. And with the always online connection, just like with Diablo 3, where they told PC gamers, you have to have this, And then in the console, they basically spit on our face with that version because they had an option for offline and online.
Yeah.
But these games, unless to me, if it's an always online game and it's just a full multiplayer game, fine. Then it makes sense to be online. But if it's a game like Call of Duty or GT,
any game with a single player campaign,
it should never be an always online. It should never because it's just going to cause lag problems. It's going to cause other problems, and
not only that, but what if your internet goes down?
Exactly.
Yeah, your SOL. Yeah, and that's
Or what if you decide, like current recession, I can't afford internet. I just want to play my games. I don't need internet because that's a cost I have to cut. You're screwed.
Yep. In fact, I actually paid for 1 year of PSN Plus on the PlayStation 4 and I haven't touched that console for almost around 8 months already. Because I have some games to play, but I'm playing more on my Nintendo Switch or my Xbox One.
Yeah, I can say that I have not I have my Xbox and my PS4, which I will actually show you right here because hang on, I'll turn my ring light on. So yeah, there are my consoles right there.
Yep.
And I know the thing is, I barely play my Xbox. I mean, I'm glad that there are some games I got that are backwards compatible. So I think I can just stick to playing those games. But games I tried out Halo Infinite, what was not good, but I know that you have to have Game Pass, but Game Pass is expensive for just 3 months. Why can't they have something for a year and just
I can here, like I said, made the law. There's a cheat for it. I can show you one way to actually pay less. I can show you, and it's completely legal. So,
Stands, man. You guys mentioned stands. Stands so screw. It's like okay, any word. I'm finding out any word that starts with an S screws over themselves. Simps, stands, you screw over yourself. If you're simping for women, you're devaluing the male attention. If you're giving it to them and you're paying them, you're devaluing your time, your attention. And stands, if you're just giving them your money, regardless of they pull out a pile of shit, you're devaluing
literally people who get Call of Duty every year and sports titles.
Yes, Madden. I stopped. The last Madden I played was 90 something. Okay.
The only sports game that's still fun, I probably will go back to it at some point, is Sprocket League.
The only game that I actually pay by in front, because I know for a fact that even if it's shit, I want to play it. And once I finish it, if shit, I'm probably not gonna play it anymore. But it hasn't happened yet. It's Kingdom Hearts. It's the only game. Other than that, I will not pay money. But Kingdom Hearts, you have my money.
On sports games, I'm not going to lie to you. There are 3 sports games that if they remade, I would I would research to make sure they're not going to inject wokeness, and I would throw my money directly into the faces of whoever made a remake of these 3 titles. And I challenge anyone on this panel to dispute what I'm about to say.
Come on.
Title 1, 2, 3, whatever. Titles. The Mutant League series. Fuck.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember running that at Blockbuster and playing it on my Genesis.
A modern.
It was funny.
Mutant League series. Mutant League baseball. Mutant League football. Mutant League whatever. Okay.
It was
Mutant League.
hit the eyes. I love that game. It was
number 2 and number 3. I will admit they're very, very close, but NBA fuck mothering jam.
Yes.
NBA fuck mothering streets volume 2.
I think there's a 1-up arcade for that game.
Those 3 freaking games, remake them right fucking now. You will get my money. NBA Streets, Mutant League, anything, and goddamn, what's that? NBA Streets, Mutant League, yes, Mutant League, NBA Jam. He's heating up. He's on fire. Yes, me, Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Let's go. Me and Scottie Pippen. Let's do this. Let's go.
Yes, Stockton Malone. Stockton Malone. Come on.
Yes, let's go. Put a freaking bear head on my body. Let's do this.
Dude, we have
Okay?
to play that game. We have to play that game in a stream.
Bro, I'm sorry. This panel, yeah. Tell me what game. I will be on deck. Okay.
The funniest thing is I have any NBA hand time in my Sega Genesis here. So
okay, I want to start a series called Honey, I Shrunk the Panel.
All right.
Okay. It's gonna be grounded.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and move on to this article. And even if it's similar to the first one about Andor, this is the article that Crit selected. I told him I would read it, and I'm going to read it.
Okay.
This is basically the same article I showed. Oh.
I know, but like I said, I told Crit I would read it. I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, he is. Respect. Special respect for that.
So this comes from IndieWire, and of course it mentions Tony Gilroy and Andor, and it goes on to say writer-director Tony Gilroy has always been a keen critic of real-world politics, from Michael Clayton to even his work as co-writer of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. He's now expanding upon the universe fleshed out in the latter film for his upcoming Disney Plus Star Wars series, Andor, starring Diego Luna as Cassian Andor, the cynical thief turned rousing rebel leader. Also among the cast, that includes Genevieve O'Reilly, Forrest Whitaker, and Stellan Skarsgård. Is beloved Irish actress Fiona Shaw. It goes on to say starring as Marva, and it goes on to say Shaw recently spoke to Empire magazine about the series, which is set in 5 years leading up to Rogue One and centers on the Rebel Alliance front against the Galactic Empire led by the revolutionary Andor. The series, as Shaw explained, offers a scrupulous take on the world where rights are disappearing, i.e. our own. Tony has written that great screwless, or I know I'm saying it wrong. I do apologize. On the Trumpian world, said Shaw, an Emmy nominee for her performance as Fleabag and Killing Eve. Our world is exploding in different places right now. People's rights are disappearing, and Andor reflects that in the show. The Empire is taking over, and it feels like the same thing is happening in reality too. Oh, you can all blame Jar Jar Binks for that. He gave Palpatine the emergency powers. Thanks, Jar Jar Binks.
Used to know.
Used to hate you.
All right. It goes on to say, as the rebellion also fights against the Palpatine regime, Cassian Andor becomes increasingly less cynical and turns toward a more revolutionary point of view. Recall that Rogue One culminates in the death of Andor, and so the series built as a time-jumping spy thriller will head in that direction as well. But again, like we said before, who's going to want to watch this series when we know the character's fate? Exactly. I mean, even when they have episodes where it looks like the character's in danger, it's like we know when he actually dies. So
yeah, it's like they keep on doing the same bullshit that I cannot understand when they try to make a prequel of a series and they don't understand that there's some kind of nuance eventually, because for example, Better Call Saul, you actually have two ways of showing it, and that's what's great about that show, that they show the past and also the future, because they show the before what happened with Walter White and everything, and after what happened. And it's great because of that, because you actually see, you don't only see why it went that way, why it became like way and everything, but also you see what happens once it everything happened, like with Walter White and everything, and the spirit. And it's great because of that. This could actually have been something the same, or for example, Kenobi could actually have been something of the same, because Kenobi, like, we know how he dies, but they could have shown like a little bit of before just that time before they actually like found Luke and everything. But as we know, they try to make it as much as they can, so they're probably gonna release a second, third, fourth, five, whatever season. But this is the funniest part because we know for a fact, seeing Rogue One, that this is gonna end like
quick question.
Everybody dies. So,
anyone else here besides Pacific a writer?
Ed Sparks is, but he left.
Okay,
So he had to go.
So I'm working on a series that I hope to get put in anime and live action form in the future, and I did a prequel. So I came up with I'll say a recipe. So I go back to a point of time where, and I tell a story in that time period, but I don't pick any characters in the prequel that won't be seen in the future.
So you just show like an ambient, something like that, like a town or something that happened that actually moves the story forward in the other, like in the present, right?
Okay, so like Lord of the Rings, so you know how elves live a ridiculously long amount of time, right?
Yes.
So you have Lord of the Rings. So what we presently know. I'll then go back in time hundreds of years and tell a different story. But you don't know what's up. So then, after that story concludes, I then release another story and go, oh, these characters? They were on the other side of the world doing this adventure during the adventure you know. So whatever I do, you don't know what's going to happen. It doesn't change the story, but it tells a story in a period in the past.
It's a spin-off. It's a spin-off and a prequel at the same time.
Exactly, right? Which is what you should do. If you want to go back in time and tell a story that happened within a time period before what's already established canon, don't use the same freaking characters. They could have went back and told a story from a different set of rebels dealing with the aftermath of Rogue One. And they wouldn't have had to change anything. They would have been like, oh, this happened on Rogue One. Okay, now 7 parsecs away, this is a repercussion on this specific planet. That character dying now had this person wanting to join the Alliance. So the guy who they're using for the whatever the fuck his name is for the Andor, they could have used his son or his daughter. Oh, dad died doing this. I'm going to carry the torch. But no, they're too stupid. I'm sorry. I'm done. It's like you can.
After seeing Kenobi, you already know that they're stupid. So.
Yeah, I know, but it's like as a writer, it's like you can go
Kenobi,
back.
Forget Kenobi. It was Boba Fett.
Boba Fett felt like a filler show. It was a mess, but
all the shows were a mess. Actually,
Kenobi, Mandor, the Mandalorian, I probably enjoyed the most. Kenobi, I did like some things about it, but to say that it really did much for me personally, no, it didn't. There may be an episode or two I would go back and watch, but that's about it. There was some character development even with Tala, but then there was other stuff in that show. There wasn't enough flashbacks, in my opinion, of Hayden, and I felt he was somewhat wasted in that show, which was
well, even when they did have that flashback of Hayden, it's like, okay, it's 40-year-old.
Yeah, it was good though, but they could have had more. Could have seen more flashbacks.
Yeah, that's all he should have been in was his flashbacks. The reduel should have never happened. That was just canon breaking and stupid. It ruined it. He ended up being, well, what the crap happened? He ended up not doing what he should have done while he was there. He should have killed him in the rematch, and he didn't do it. He just walks away. He had him. He knew what he was and what he was going to do. That's why the freaking thing should have never happened.
Damn, you guys have more hope than me. Because after watching 2 episodes of Dancing with Sand People, I was done.
Yeah,
I gotta be completely honest. I watched the Muller's reviews of everything. It was even funnier because I didn't have to spend it. Like I was playing some game while hearing them and seeing these scenes and everything. I was like laughing my ass off, and I was like, "This is great," because I I watched one episode of The Mandalorian, the first episode, and the second, 2 episodes. Sorry, 2 episodes. I was like, this is boring as fuck. I was like, I don't care. And then I realized that the Mauler was doing a special like showing of every episode of the first of The Mandalorian, and then a Book of Boba Fett. I was like, this is what I need. I need people actually making jokes about this show because I cannot be the only one that actually sees this as a command.
I still like
I like the Mandalorian. I did like the Mandalorian.
No, I didn't like any of the three. I didn't like Star Wars from Disney. Like the only one that actually like grabbed me by the, let's just call it the nostalgia balls, was the Force Awakens. After that, the other ones I didn't even want.
You like the Force Awakens?
I want to watch it in the cinema. That was the only one that I watched. The other ones I watched it in my house.
I was mad as hell. I'm in the theater going, is this just a remake of A New Hope?
Yeah, I was the same, but I was like, okay, but they're trying to push something new. Let's just see what they do. And I was like, oh, god damn it.
Bruh. It was obviously a remake of A New Hope. I was in the theater. You could talk to my homies. They're like, I was like, this is the same plot, except they just made Luke Skywalker a girl. And it just made a Death Star. It's now a shotgun instead of a rifle. Am I tripping? And no, I'm like, no. They're like, yeah, it was literally a remake.
That's JJ for you.
Yep.
I was just surprised. I'm like, so no. Like I would have, because not the Sonic one of them. I would have been more shocked if what's his name? Ray!
Finn.
Ray.
Finn. If Finn ended up being the main character and being a Jedi, that would have got me like,
because they were setting him up to be the hero, the Jedi, and then
but
they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball.
My brain still went, what's that video game series I played the shit out of back in the day? Dark Forces.
I'm
like, that's the same freaking storyline. Al-Katarn used to be a TIE fighter pilot. Now he's a Jedi. Original? Any original anything?
Yeah, they probably just went like, I will always say the same because sometimes it's funnier to think like this. But have you ever seen the Trump video of they actually show how they say I was making a Sonic game and they just went to a line of Congress and say, what the fuck is a Sonic? And I think most of the writers in Hollywood are like that. They don't understand how Star Wars works, but they just love the money,
Hey, Mike, I'm gonna excuse me. I'm gonna take off now, man.
I was just gonna say to you guys that I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here shortly with the final article, and also.
Okay, well then, I can wait. That's fine, dude. No problem.
Yeah, off camera, guys. I will tell you guys some of the ideas I have that are actually freaking original.
All right. So, wrapping up this 1-year anniversary edition of Pop Talk is our final article. This comes from Bounding into Comics, and it says multiple sources. Well, multiple reports. Say it right, Mike. Multiple reports. Warner Brothers Discovery cuts losses, cans race film following poor test screenings. This is by Spencer Bacall. It was posted just yesterday on their website. It says, and yet another devastating blow to the DCEU and its ongoing attempt to find direction. Warner Brothers Discovery has reportedly pulled the plug on their race-swapped Batgirl film. News of the film's cancellation was first made public on August 2nd by the New York Post, who allegedly learned of the development from a top Hollywood source. According to said source, test screenings of Batgirl were so widely panned by audiences that the studio chose to shelve the film and eat its entire reported budget of $70 million, though the source claims it actually exceeds $100 million, out of concern for the brand's future. They think an unspeakable Batgirl is going to be irredeemable, the source told the Post. Notably, this cancellation does not just pertain to the film's theatrical release. As per the Post source, the studio has also declined to give Batgirl an HBO Max release. Oof. Not even worthy of HBO Max.
Damn.
Yeah,
that is a low blow.
they dump. It's $100 million they dump into this, and they could have just thrown it on HBO Max. Crit and I were having this conversation recently. I agree with Crit. Actually, we talked about this a little bit too, Mike. Could have just dumped this on HBO Max.
Yeah, you and I talked about it a little bit last night, and
you know it's got to be bad if they won't even do that.
The funniest thing about all this is like knowing for a fact that we've seen like a lot of shows of CW and a lot of movies. Like I know for a fact that a lot of people will tell me like you're crazy, but no, I never like any of the Snyder movies, especially Batman v Superman. That was bullshit. But even like that, they know that they're probably gonna like throw a coin with this one, and it's probably gonna make them lose a lot of money. Like Lightyear made Disney lose a lot of money. So they say like, is it worth it to actually like make all the, because this is before the marketing, you know, if you start like making marketing, like, you know, posters and the actual ad and the, you know, the role of the actors going to different places and everything, you're going to lose the double of the money, because 75 million or 100 is before the marketing. After the marketing is probably going to be like 200 or 300. And they'll be like, no, this is, we see the screening. A lot of people say like, this is bad as it can goes, so we're gonna lose a lot more money, so let's just not even. And that's the funniest thing, because even like that I will be like, okay, at least release it in some kind of platform, like throw it into the face of people. Like I will, I'm not joking about this. Sonic the movie, the movie that is a great movie, they could actually have released a bad how is it called, Bad Sonic or Ugly Sonic, like they did on the movie. And I will have seen it, because I would love to see it, how badly it is with that face. But then I saw
I wouldn't have touched it. Nope.
Now I'll be like, okay, release it. I just want to see how badly it goes, and don't change, because they probably changed a little bit of the script and everything, but we don't know about that. But even like that, I'll be like, okay, I want to see that movie just to see. It's like, do you know when you know it's like they say it's a train wreck, we shouldn't be seeing, but you can't stop seeing it, something like that. I want to see how badly it was. Like I know they're green lighted the Powerpuff Girls movie. That is a live action. They actually are making it after all.
They are. So that like, got canceled because it was so terrible.
No, it was canceled, and then no, they're gonna do it anyway. They're gonna make a TV show.
Okay, the TV show is what got canceled. The live action TV show, I think.
Okay. So anyway, I want to see that made, just because we know for a fact that it's a train wreck and it's gonna be awful. So I just want to see, especially because I'm not gonna be seeing the movie a lot. I'm gonna be seeing all the streamers and everything that I follow, laughing my ass off as they see them like cut it piece by piece, because I'm so stupid it is. And especially because I've started to like get a like into the point, you know, a taste, to the point of seeing a lot of the streamers that I follow. If they make a like, have you ever seen like Ask Karen movie? That movie that is awful. Okay.
I saw the trailer for that movie. I'm thinking, who in their right mind is going to pay money to see this garbage?
Well, if you see the S stream, it's funny and great, because he actually delves into the deeps of the Joker, actually. Because if you see his Batwoman like reviews, he started like go crazy saying, "Who in the hell will like go like this or do this?" And you're like, I understand him, because it's funny to see him get so mad about something so stupid. But after all, we understand him, because if you're a fan of something, and this is the same, I know for a fact that Ass is a big fan of Batgirl, and I know a lot of people are. In my case, it's not so much, because I'm more of I was always a Batman kind of guy, but I'm more Marvel than DC. And I know for a fact that a lot of people will come to me like say, "Have you seen that Batgirl movie? It's shit, and I'm gonna tell you why." And I love those. I love those streams. I love those reviews, because it's even funnier. Because you see that like the actual voice of a fan, and since I'm not a fan, I cannot get as angry as them. It's the same if they did something so stupid with Kingdom Hearts. You will see me like get bad, like go into every kind of corner of that destruction of my fanatism, and I love those.
I used to be like that. You can ask Pacific, but now it's like I don't get mad anymore because I'm like, it's no point. Me getting mad is not going to really accomplish anything, but give me like, migraines. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to go and look for alternative, we'll say sources for entertainment, because I know they're not going to listen, because I know it's no longer about providing entertainment. It's about pushing a message, and that they will die and burn to death on a hill to push their message. So there's nothing that I say, nothing you say, nothing we say will make Kurtzman stop anally sodomizing freaking Star Trek. Okay? There's nothing that we could say that's going to make Kathleen Kennedy stop trying to turn Star Wars into a feminist utopia. There's nothing we can do about it. So we can go, yeah, that's crap, and then move on and go, hey guys, like I said, at a later date, I want you guys, I would like to have you guys give me your opinions on some of the scripts I've written, and like, hey, what do you guys think? Because screw trying to get Hollywood to start making things for the fans. Why don't we start making things for the fans? Why don't we follow Eric July? Why don't we follow that path?
We can.
I don't know how to draw.
Even before Eric July, like there's you just think about what makes these characters interesting. So if you're doing a Batgirl movie, well, wouldn't it be cool if Batgirl and Nightwing interact, for example, and then we build from there. We can learn more about stuff about Barbara Gordon. Probably stuff that's already been written in the comics, and even then, you could find other stuff that she did. But if she's going to be a lesbian or she's going to be this, that doesn't make the character that interesting. Maybe to some people it does, but the majority of people who read comics
don't care.
Comics, we want that background. Give us a tragedy. Why is this? Like, it was very interesting that Barbara Gordon got shot, then she was in a wheelchair, then she's helping Batman, and you see like Arkham Knight. It's not the best game, but it's so good.
Oh, holy crap! Never mind. I was about to contradict what I said, but like the main character is something I've written. It's a massive tragedy. I was like, oh crap, you're right. So I'm gonna shut the F up.
Let's be kind of honest. That's the funniest part about the entire.
She got shot, or there was an accident where how she became the Oracle. I can't remember.
No. She was shot by the Joker in the.
That's it, Joker.
Yes,
I was
and
right.
The Joker in the Killing Joke in that.
Are you guys all part of Pacific's Discord channel?
Yes, I have Discord.
No,
yes, I'm on Pacific. Yes.
Once the stream ends, we all need to meet up on Pacific's Discord channel.
I won't be meeting up. I got an Orville stream to do.
I know you got it. Please, whoever can.
Stream after this.
I was like, I want to continue this conversation on creativity.
I have no problem. I have to stay awake until say 6 a.m. because I'm working right now, so that's no problem.
Okay,
I gotta go to bed.
Okay, listen, you guys are ruthless savages, and I go, here's my script, rip it to pieces. I want that. I'm not like Hollywood. Oh my god. As a black writer, if you don't like my script, Ross is your white supreme princess. No, give me your work.
So is that what you're saying about every time I've made some critiques about your stories? You're saying that I'm a racist? Okay, yeah, that doesn't fly with me, buddy.
With extra sausage and that Alfredo sauce and some basil. Yes. No.
See, here's the thing about Chaos and I. We've critiqued each other's stories. We've given our points of view on the stories, and we've helped improve each other's stories.
Pretty much.
Yep.
I am one of those people. I go, do not tell me my shit's good if you don't think it's good, and find holes. I want you to find any plot holes I miss. Why? So I can plug them.
How many times have I read your scripts over Discord and I mentioned something going, wait a minute, maybe you should change that?
Well, recently, not too much, but back in the day, yes. That's why I need more people to find more things. I need more eyeballs.
Alrighty.
All right. I know Cash is ready to go. I know I'm ready to go. So basically, the whole gist of Batgirl, well, we won't be getting the Batgirl movie, and maybe that's for the best.
Yes.
Not everything needs to be seen, but
Bro, what are you
who
talking
knows?
about? Hey, this is part 1. We can do part 2 tomorrow. What are you talking about?
No.
Why does the party
no,
gotta stop, bro?
Well, you can continue the party. I won't be joining the party because I've got another stream to do for tonight, dude.
I mean tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got another stream to do for tonight, and it's gonna go pretty late. So
You'll be asleep.
It's already late.
Yep.
Oh, dude, you're a machine.
no, I said I would be there, and I'm gonna be there.
How does that respect your grind, your hustle, bro?
No, it's just somebody asked me, "Hey, you want to be a part of this stream?" And I said yes. So
What is it about?
it's with Nerdtorial talking about the final, or at least what might be the final episode of the Orville. We don't know yet, but
Oh, okay. I can't watch that.
I stopped watching the Orville on the episode of Scott. I can't remember the name of the character now, but Scott Grimes' episode of the family. I was like, I'm out.
What?
Yes, I hated that episode. I was done with the
episode of what? Wait. You gotta explain because the Orville is like freaking literally the spiritual successor of Star Trek.
Yes, I know, but the problem was like I hated that episode because Charlie actually talked about her lesbian relationship with how is it called, the robot Isaac, and then they actually showed that episode that they killed the family of the character of how is it called the character. The actor is Scott Grimes. I can't remember the name of the character.
That was a little irritating. I'm like, you know
that's
what?
Gordon.
Gordon, there we go. I hated that episode. I hated it with all my soul. I was like, I'm done. I don't care anymore.
It's over for me. That's it.
Yeah, that's the problem that I have because that was one of the best love stories that I've seen in shows of a guy actually having to live that love story and never be able to meet the person. And then he actually meets her. They actually get married, have kids, and they shut the story because you were never meant to be here. Oh, fuck me. You actually were never to be. They actually destroy a lot of times the time continuum. A lot of times because of things that happen. So I'm like, man.
I agree because right now we do not know what they knocked out of alignment. That when they got back home, Earth could not be there. Like the movie, The Butterfly Effect, really affected me. So I was like, bruh, do you not understand that we could jump back home and home could not be there?
Yep. So,
Because it's like one of your children could grow up to be Kim Jong-un II and kill everyone. It's like if you're just selfish, me. So I go, yeah, it was hard. It was hard for me to watch too, but I go, I understand, dude. There are two things.
I understand the thing, but I'm I'm done. I don't care.
There are two things.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up.
Okay,
you can continue this discussion after the stream.
You don't mess with a woman's shoe closet, and you do not mess with time. Those are two things you don't screw with. Okay, I'm done.
So,
and a guy's console.
Yes, three things.
I want to thank everybody for coming by for the 1 year anniversary of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. Hope you liked what you saw. If you did like what you saw, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like what you saw, leave a thumbs down. Leave a comment down in the chat section if you want before we end the live stream. And consider subscribing to the PACIFIC414 YouTube channel because I'm not only a baseball guy, I also do episode reviews, movie reviews, live streams, and episodes of Pop Talk every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, except for today, with today being an exception. And every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, unless there's a particular Pop Talk on a particular Saturday where we're talking about one particular topic. Then you'll get a video with 2 stories, and I'll leave it up to you to leave your comments in the comment section of what you think. But I do want to say thank you to everybody who stopped by. Zan Zoltan, thank you, brother, for stopping by and
Happy
being.
year, man. Sorry for
Thank you.
like always like going outside the box. Sorry.
It's all good, man.
This is a very entertaining show. This is one of the more entertaining pop talks I've been on.
I want to thank the Pat of Wannabe for stopping by. Das Wolfen, thank you, brother. Appreciate your support. And, Pat of Wannabe is always a good dude. We also had George Lucas Siney. Thank you, George. Really appreciate it. Gap After Dark, thank you very much, brother. Always appreciate it. Jet Sparks, thank you for being here on the panel. Thank you for providing the article and offering your thoughts and opinions on the articles. Really appreciate it, brother. Always like having you here on Pop Talk. Also want to say thank you to Kathy Skywalker for stopping by. Thank you very much. Pop Culture Mechanic, thank you as always, my friend. Look forward to seeing your next game stream this weekend. And we also had Steven, also known as Deleted Scenes. Thank you for stopping by. I know you couldn't stick around, but I appreciate the support, brother. I'll see you next time on Saturday Morning Serial. Of course, Anonymous, thank you for being here on the panel and also being in the chat.
No problem.
We also had a visit by Alan Copeland.
Nice.
Felix Quiros, also known as Star Wars Theology. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Sophia McCracken.
Yeah. We also had Rough Girl. Thank you, Rough Girl. I'm always going to support your channel. Love you, girl. And of course, Baron, thank you for being on the panel and in the chat. Thank you, brother. And Matt from Channel 66, thank you very much. I'll try to catch your stream this Saturday. And all rise for Justice Fat Seagal. Great guy. Subscribe to his channel. He does great game streams, offers his opinion on pop culture. You can also catch him with Gary and Keith of Pop Culture Minefield on Fridays and Saturdays. And we also had Keely Chow. Roll Tide, Keely Chow. Roll Tide. And of course, it's Courtney. It's Fellowship of Oddballs.
Nice.
Courtney, can't wait for your late night jaunts.
Hey, go help Courtney out. She's got a GoFundMe or something. Go to her Twitter page, but she's needing some money for some medical stuff. So, give a few bucks. Just do what you can.
And real quick, I'm gonna let it in real quick. Hey, Whoopa, we're about to wrap this up, brother.
Hey,
Shit, Whoopa, long time no see, Whoopa.
Hey, what's up, TKO?
Hey,
how you doing, man?
King Whoopa, he got himself a new one.
Heck
yeah,
he does.
There's a new Whoopa on Whoopa Wednesday, no less. It's great.
That's messy.
Yeah, sorry, I had my stream. I got invited to 2 streams today, plus having my own stream. It was a busy time, but I wanted to make sure I could come on and say happy 1 year anniversary of Pop Talk.
Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. And I appreciate you joining me yesterday as we talked about the Major League Baseball trade deadline and all the deals that went down.
He's gone.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Sorry, I forgot I was on mute.
He knew it so well.
But yeah, it was great. I always love talking MLB.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, everybody, thank you all for watching this edition of Pop Talk. Really appreciate it. Again, if you like what you saw here, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a thumbs down. Heck, if you liked it at first and then something ticked you off and you unliked it, that's fine too. That's happened before. But thank you all. Have yourselves a great night, and I will see you this weekend. I will definitely be doing episode 340 of the box score this weekend, and of course, Sunday morning Pop Talk. So, see you then. Oh, and also my live reaction to tonight's season or series finale, we don't know, of the Orville. So see you then.
Bye,
Have a good night, all.
everybody.
See you.